Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tarda Zone Talks. It might be a bit noisy in the background. It's just Ted. You know, it's a nice day, so we're trying to wear him out, so you might hear him barking in the background. So, yes, okay. So, while everybody out there decides to focus on the negative with the casting and the stuff that's happening with RTD, I have decided that I'm just going to focus on the positives because, to be quite honest with you, I'm like a lot of people out there now. I'm actually getting sick and tired and bored of you all now that are saying Doctor Who is going to continue to be woke. If you believe that, okay, if you believe that and you have that opinion, that's fine. I already know your opinion. You don't have to keep reminding me of your opinion, all right? So if anybody has anything negative to say in the chat but has already said something negative, don't bother because I'll be removing people. I'm sick and tired of it all. I've even left a couple of chats as well that I was involved in because there's just too much nonsense going on in the fandom right now, and I am not going to be listening. Nobody knows what Doctor Who is going to be like. I don't, you don't, and for the people that are being negative constantly, you don't know what's going to happen with this show. Okay, so I'm going to focus on the positive, and if you have a problem with me focusing on the positive, or you believe that Doctor Who is woke, you don't have to follow me anymore. It's as simple as that. Okay? I'm done with all of this stupidity that's going on. Already, same thing as well. 2 episodes of Obi-Wan have dropped. And even the first hour they dropped, oh, this is woke, this is shit, boycott Disney Plus. These are the same people that are calling Disney groomers. But these are also the same people that are giving out about their fucking computer game females being covered up, or their knickers being covered because, you know, because it might be inappropriate. Can you not see how ironic and how contradictory you all are? On one hand, you want you our video game women to have big tits and to have their knickers shown, yeah? But at the same time, then he's complaining about Star Wars, saying how woke it is and Disney are groomers and all of this, that, and the other. I'm not listening to you anymore, right? You are becoming bored and people are bored of you. I keep getting messages off people saying, I'm sick and tired of the fandom menace. They've lost all credibility. They just keep moaning all the time. And that's exactly what they do. Even before Obi-Wan came out, they were moaning about it. Even before Boba Fett came out, they were moaning about it. And they'll moan about every single Star Wars project created by Disney because that's the way they are, right? Disney could make the greatest show or the greatest movie on the fucking planet, right? And have the least woke thing and tick canon and all of this, right? And they'd still find something to fucking complain about, right? I'm sick and tired of it all. I'm getting bored of it all. And you can take your negativity somewhere fucking else. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a bad humor because someone called me wife a bad name, a whore, and he tried to hit me wife. A couple of lads down where we live, they were trying to break into the football pitch. I let her scream at them. The wife went down to the side to get them out, and then all hell broke loose. So forgive me if I'm a bit heated at the moment, but I mean everything I fucking say, right? If you're going to be constantly negative about Doctor Who, fuck off. Simple as that, right? You don't know just as much as I don't know, right? And I'm giving RTD a chance, like I said I was going to give him a chance. And if he doesn't prove himself to me or doesn't improve on Doctor Who, I'm done, right? I'm not going to continue for 5 or 6 fucking years to keep talking about how bad Doctor Who is. It's time to let go. When was the Last Jedi? Let go. Obviously, Disney is not your thing. You don't like them. So why fucking watch all the why watch them? You're telling your audience to block Disney, to boycott Disney, to do this, do that. But yeah, these channels are going to their theme parks. These channels are actually talking about Disney all the time, right? Therefore, giving Disney publicity, right? If you're not happy with what they've done with Star Wars, well then move fucking on. Move on. Nobody wants to hear the incessant bitching and moaning from you every fucking time a Disney show comes out. All right? Sick and tired of it. And I haven't watched Obi-Wan yet. I'm looking forward to it. I have watched the first couple of episodes of Boba Fett. I will tell you about Boba Fett. I do find Boba Fett right now a little bit boring. But does that mean that it's crap? No, because I haven't seen the rest of it to judge it. Right? But people are judging Doctor Who before they even see what RTD has done. As I said, RTD gets one season. If he fails to do what I want Doctor Who to do, I'm walking away. I am not going to talk about Doctor Who anymore. I won't be talking about RTD, how woke it is or how shit it is. I will move on. And this is what these YouTubers need to do. You need to move on now, right? Callian Kennedy has told you, this Star Wars is not for yous, but yous are hanging on like a bad fucking rash, right? And yous won't let other people enjoy it, right? Oh no, this isn't the EU. Oh no, the character, look at the character. The character has black skin. Oh Jesus Christ, hold the phone. Oh look, they got a Chinese character. Oh my God, Star Wars has gone woke. And now, those very same people are trying to infect the Doctor Who fandom with their nonsense, and I'm not putting up with it, right? You don't know what's going to happen with Doctor Who, so keep your opinions to yourselves, all right? You have nothing to do with this Doctor Who fandom. You only have something to do with it when there's something controversial to talk about. Keep your noses out. It's nothing to do with just let the Doctor Who YouTubers that have been talking about Doctor Who for the last few years talk about it, all right? You just keep your noses out and keep talking about yous at Disney if that's what you want to fucking obsess over, right? And if it's not Disney, it's Brie Larson or it's Amber Heard or it's some poor girl that's playing Supergirl. Oh no, she's not the right Supergirl because she's Latina. Oh no, look at her Superman suit because she's dressed like a bloke now. Oh no. Some of these people can say they're not racist, right? I'm going to say it. They're blatant fucking racists and white fucking supremacists, right? You can fucking tell. And I'm sick and tired of it all. They're not going to come in here to the Doctor Who fandom and infect it with their fucking bullshit, right? Nobody knows what's going to happen with Doctor Who, all right? And just because they cast a person of colour and a trans actress doesn't mean they're going to go woke, right? Clearly, you haven't been watching RTD over the last few fucking years. All right, so you don't know what you are talking about. You aren't informed, so shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's me rant over. And as I said, if anybody has a problem with this stance of mine, right, and that I only want to focus on the positive with this era, well then I'll tell you now, if you are expecting me to come out and be negative, I'm not going to be, right? I told you from day one when RTD was announced, right, that I was giving this man a chance. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I don't give a fuck who he's cast. He could cast a pink fucking elephant for all I care. I'm going to give him a go because that's what I said I was going to do. Now, if the resties don't want to do that, right, and the resties want to keep going down this path or everything is woke and everything is this, that, and the other, and keep the negativity going, that's fine. Do it elsewhere. Right? I'm done. Right? This is what's happened with this fandom. This is what happened with fandom all over the place now in every fucking show, right? Fandom everywhere, right? There's just constant negativity all the time. When do these YouTubers ever talk about art and positive, right? When do they ever talk about art and positive, right? They only focus on the negative. It's the odd time that they might focus on something positive. Like, for example, now they're focusing on Maverick. They're focusing on Maverick because Maverick isn't woke. Oh, Maverick isn't woke. Maverick is this and that. Oh, yeah, get the testosterone out. Oh, yeah, look at girls with boobies and all. Oh, my God, this is my thing. Fucking idiots. Half of them that even talk wouldn't even get a woman, let alone bang one. They're afraid of women. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and say that this gender swapping and stuff can get a bit nonsense sometimes. Yeah, can. Right? It can. And some of the decisions that have been made around Hollywood over the past few years have been ridiculous, yes, right? But not every single fucking decision that's made is a fucking woke decision or a political decision. And if that's the way you frame your mind and you frame your audience minds, well, then that's fine, fair enough. Stay in your little echo chamber, right? Stay in your little echo chamber. This is why big YouTubers out there, you know, we have one, for example, putting out Doctor Who rumors all of a sudden. You know, those rumors are designed to just rile up the other side of the fandom. Because look at the way how they're written and all. Oh, they cast a person of colour, but Toby Stevens was supposed to, a white dude was supposed to play the Doctor. But no, BBC told Sony that they had to cast a person of colour. Seriously, man. People just need to fucking cop on. And you know what? I'd say to you guys as well, all you people out there that are subscribed to all of these people, yeah? Will you all fucking start thinking for yourselves for a change? Right? Because I've seen it, right? I've seen it already, right? I've seen the reviews, right? I've seen spoiler-free reviews of Obi-Wan, right? And then I look at the chat, because the comment section is the most interesting part. So big YouTuber will put up, oh, switching bait, Obi-Wan is woke, it's switching bait, oh look, they destroyed Star Wars, right? And then you look at the comments, oh, I'm not watching this now. I'm not watching it. Go woke, go broke. Well, you haven't fucking seen it. So how do you know, right? You're only listening to an idiot who has a personal preference, personal taste. How do you know that you actually might like the show or would dislike the show like them? You haven't seen it. So don't be going. So this is another thing that's annoying me as well. Is that people are waiting on YouTubers and critics and media out there to report on these things before they decide whether they're going to watch or not. What happened, which is all checking these shows out for yourselves and having your own mind? Right? We haven't even seen Series 14. We haven't even seen the 14th Doctor, but it's already been wrote off. And listen, as I said, I've been very understanding of people and their opinions. But you know what? It's still continuing. I put up a post on Twitter and someone just has to come in and be negative. Oh, it's going to be woke. How do you know? How do you know? Well, because they cast a person of colour and a trans actor, so it's going to be woke. I am sick and tired of it, right? Wait and see what happens, okay? And this is why I'm going to focus on the positive when it comes to Doctor Who. If there are any positive articles out there that are talking about the RTD era, I'll be bringing them up. I won't be focusing on the negative, because you know why I'm not focusing on the negative? Because we haven't seen a single fucking thing on screen, so there's nothing to be negative over. And if you're negative over the fact that a black man is playing the Doctor and there's a new companion called Rose, who isn't Rose Tyler, who happens to be a trans actress, well then that's down to your bigotry and down to your fucking way of thinking, right? But here's the thing, you know, I've been called transphobic in this fandom before, you know, during the Jodie Whittaker era. But what these people don't realise, I'm not transphobic. I never have been transphobic, right? I'm all for trans fucking rights. I've just never agreed the way they went about it, these activists. I don't agree with, obviously, we've spoke about kids. I'm not going to get into that, right? But I do draw a line somewhere. But I do support trans people, right? So just because a trans actress is called, I've no problem with the casting. I've told you this from day one, right? I didn't care. Even if he cast a woman for the Doctor, I was still going to give it a chance. But he cast a bloke. But it's the wrong sort of bloke according to half of these muppets out there, right? Because he's black. These all sound fucking ridiculous. These all sound fucking ridiculous. Right? And in some cases, I'm going to fucking say, some people are blatantly fucking racist. I'm sick of it all. Sick of it. I can't even go on to Twitter, right? A new show comes on, right? I can't even come on to Twitter. They fucking ruin a show for me before I can fucking watch it. right? Because when I'm watching the show, all I'm thinking is their fucking comment and it's playing her. And this is why I said to Cheryl, this is why Cheryl doesn't do it anymore, right? Or Cheryl's never done it, actually. But Cheryl doesn't go on to social media to check out reviews of these shows. She goes in blind every fucking time, right? It's the same with Doctor Who right now. Bar the castings, Cheryl knows nothing about what's going on with the RTD era. So she's going in blind. And that's the way it should really be. You know, you don't listen to other people. Don't let other people influence how you fucking think, for God's sake. Do you remember we used to call the other side cheap? Well, I can tell you now, I'm seeing it from our side. It's becoming a bunch of fucking drones. A big YouTuber out there would say, oh, Boba Fett is shit. Okay, I believe you. You're the God. Your word is gospel. Go and check it out yourself. And by the way, she's not even companion for the 14th Doctor either. This is the weird thing. Like, they're not even being truthful in their videos either, right? First of all, they're saying BBC are driving all these decisions, which they're wrong. It's Bad Wolf Studios. And they're not even doing their research. Second of all, right? The companion roles that we have now, Donna's daughter, right? Nowhere, anywhere has it said that she's in series 14 with the 14th Doctor, right? She's in the 60th. But again, they haven't told the audience that. They've made it out that they've got a black actor playing the Doctor, right? 14th Doctor, and they have a trans actress playing his companion. That's the way they framed it, right? But it's bullshit. It's bullshit. She's only part of the 60th. We don't even know if she's going to be there past the 60th because the show that she's actually on, Heartstopper, isn't that what it's called? Is that they're being renewed for another 2 seasons. So they don't even do the research, right? She's not. We don't even know if she's a full-time companion yet, but people have dropped have jumped to conclusions as usual. Anyway, let's get into this positive thing. So, there's an article in the link description anyway. It's Shooty, Jordan Jackrabbit. It's Shooty. Shooty Gatwa. It's not hard. Say Shooty. It's just Shooty, as if you're shooting a gun. Shoot, shoo, Shooty. It's not hard. It's not hard. I was getting a bit confused at first, Jack, like yourself, but it's actually easy. It's Shooty. Shooty. Right, hold on. Give me a second. I need to chill for a minute. I'm going to bleed and take a heart attack here. I can't spell it now. I'm dyslexic. Oh, it's all right, man. It's HCUTI. It's all good, Jack. It's all good. It's all good. And just before we move on to this positive thing. So as you have seen, for the members only. So what I've decided to do, because obviously you've already heard me talking now for the last 20 minutes. So you know I'm going to getting sick and tired of the bullshit. But because there is bullshit over the RTD era, the original plan was to have RTD watch-alongs on the channel for everybody. But because of the negativity and because people are saying RTD is woke and stuff like that, I've decided to make the member streams instead. So if you want to come and join me along with special guests special guest panel to do the RTD era, then become a member. You know what to do. So I'll be doing them on the member streams. We will continue the Matt Smith, because obviously we're on Matt Smith right now. We will continue the Matt Smith watch-alongs on the normal channel, as well as the classic. But the RTD era watch-along streams are going to be members-only streams because I'm done. I'm done with it. I've just had enough of the negativity right now. And I want to be able to watch the RTD era without some little gobshite coming in and telling me how woke he is. right? So if you want to become a member, please do. Now, for the members, I just want to point out that you won't be just. I just want you to be. I just want to be clear here that yes, while I'm putting the RTD era as member streams, you are also getting our other streams as well. Okay, we're still bringing on the special guests and we're doing interviews. That's not going to change. But I'm doing the watch along streams for you as well. So if you're a member, you will get to see me interview new people as soon as I can get the guests up. And then we'll be doing the watch along streams on member streams only. So if you haven't become a member, there's a join button. For anybody that wants to know, because so some people have asked me how much it is. We have the lower tier. It's £5. Okay. Now, some of you in there love throwing in a super chat and stuff like that. Sometimes I get a £5 or sometimes I get a tenner off you. Why not become a member instead? Save the super chat and become a member. And then you'll have videos then for you to enjoy over the next month or so. It's a monthly thing. And then if you want to renew, it's up to yourself. So we'll be having RTD streams there. And I'll be doing the interviews. We got Daniel coming on. I do know that. And I'm going to be getting a few more guests lined up. We've already had Marty on the channel twice. We'll be bringing Daniel on. And I will be hoping to bring Chris on from Cultivated Media to talk about something other than Doctor Who. This is what these member streams will be as well. We won't be just concentrating on Doctor Who. So if you want to become a member, you know what to do. Hit that join button so you don't miss out on any of those streams. Right, back to this article anyway. And I will give you all... I will. Am I still going to be able to do my stream with Marty? No, I'm not doing. We're not doing the stream with Marty. You're doing the stream with just me, Jack. Because Marty's already done too. So, you can come on because you don't get the opportunity to just come on yourself and talk. So I'll bring you on so you can come on and talk, and we'll talk about your artwork and stuff like that. We don't necessarily have to keep it to Doctor Who either. So we'll do a member stream with Jack. So there you go. So we got Daniel lined up anyway. I'm hoping to get that done next week. And then Jack will be the next guest. And we'll arrange that. I'll arrange that with you, Jack, as soon as I finish the one with Daniel. Then I'll arrange with you. So myself and Jack will be doing a member stream as well. I'm not going to leave anybody out. Don't worry. Because I know a few people were kind of worried about me doing these member streams that I'd get distracted from doing streams for everybody else. I'm not going to do that, right? I was never going to do that. As I said, the membership, obviously the members will get recognition first when they come in, like Garbage has just there now, because the chat is after coming in. So even and all, right? They get shout outs, and plus they get those extra streams, those extra interviews and stuff like that. Okay? So I'll be bringing people on to do interviews. And of course, we will have Lee on at some stage as well, because we can't have a member stream without Problem being doing one with me. So we will have the usual guests, but I am trying to get some new guests on as well for the member stream. So if you haven't become a member, it's £5 for the month. Okay, press that join button. Join, become a member like Garbage, like Patrick and all of the other wonderful people, Wolf and Storm and stuff that have become members. I've even gotten a membership off, and I'm going to mention it because I'm just going to say this, and I hope they're listening. So Andrew Jones has decided to follow me as a member, right? Now, the thing with YouTube is you can't remove members or give them their money back, right? So I just have to tolerate him right now. But he's become a member. But if you are listening, Andrew, I'm just going to tell you, right? You can come in and be part of the community. That's fine. But the one time that you say something that is basically, if you're trolling people, which we've seen you do, I will remove you. I will block your comments. So what I'm trying to say to you is I'll still get your money, right? But if you want to become part of this community, you've got to behave yourself. So you've become a member, and the only reason why I'm mentioning you is because we all know what you're like. And I'm just going to give you a warning right now. The first time you step out of line on those member streams, you're gone. First time you step out of line here, you're gone. Right? So if you're going to become a member and you're gonna behave yourself, it's as simple as that. All right. I actually got a bit of a shock when I seen it. I mean, this lad is like a bad rash, to be quite honest with you. He never disappears. But if he behaves himself, and that's all I've ever asked him to do, behaves himself, he could stay. So you got to warn him, because I tell you, if you step out of line once, I will block you. I still get your money, by the way. So I just want you to understand that. If I book OS success, I'll be a golden member, says Jack. As I said, Jack, we will get that stream done. So, as I said, I'm going to be focusing on positives here with Doctor Who, because I'm sick of all the negativity. I've had me rant, so if you haven't seen the first 28 minutes of this stream, please do. I went on an epic rant because I'm sick and tired of people at this stage. But there's an article in the link description. Does the TARDIS have a naughty step? Says Leland. Very good. Very good. So, Doctor Who has a bright future of potential spin-offs. RTD once wished for a shared universe of Doctor Who spin-offs, but now he's back in charge. Is the plan already in motion? And this goes back to what I said to you already about a certain YouTuber saying that, oh, here, I've got a rumor here that Toby Stevens and there was supposed to be an extended universe and all this. This was spoke about in January. So the person that's actually telling you this rumor is fibbing to you, because it's already been in the public knowledge since January. And that's why I'm so mad, because people are actually listening to this gobshite, right? Okay, and this is common knowledge. Don't even do their research and still saying BBC this and BBC that. Do your research. This is a Bad Wolf Studios production, not a BBC Studios production. But of course, still ignore that. It's all BBC's fault. And listen, I'm not saying BBC are saints, right? There was a time where BBC was one of the most loved television stations out there, right? It was. Right, entertainment, they were always spot on. Them and ITV, they were at their height. Nothing could beat them, or nothing could match them for entertainment. And they need to go back doing that. And maybe giving Doctor Who to someone else to do is a step in that direction. So anyway, as I said, so is the plan already in motion? This article is by Steve O'Brien. I've never actually seen an article written by Steve O'Brien for the Radio Times, so this is the first one. Remember, I'm not reading out the whole article, but it is in the link description. Before he was revealed as return showrunner in September 2021, and then we heard about in January in 2022, Russell T Davies pondered Doctor Who's future with Paul Kirkley. The show should be a Doctor Who channel now, he told Waitrose magazine. So basically, the way Disney Plus have set up their app, right? RTD believes that Doctor Who should have its own channel, right? And basically, on that app, you'll have all your classic, all your Doctor Who, the new Who, all of the spin-offs that they're planning on doing, right? He would like them all in one spot, right? This is nothing new. But a YouTuber recently, a big one, decided to run with this. Oh, it's new. It's from me source. But me source is not reliable. It's not a source that I use all the time, but I think he's great. And then someone sent me a fucking message. And word for word, everything that YouTuber said in the rumor, I actually have the screenshot and the name of the person that I believe gave it to him. And all I can tell you is that this person is not anybody connected with anything to do with any show at Doctor Who. This is the typical person who knows a person, who knows a person, who knows a person, who knows a person. Right? It's bullshit. Anyway, you look at those Disney announcements, all of those new Star Wars and Marvel shows, you think we should be sitting here announcing the Nissa Adventures or the Return of Donna Noble, and you should have the 10th and 11th Doctors together in a 10-part series, genuinely. And who's recently come back? And what's the rumor right now that people believe that the 60th is not going to be a one-off, it's going to be a multi-story. Even Marty has been on this channel and has told you that there's even a rumor that it actually could be a series. That we actually could get a series kicking off Christmas Day. Right? It's interesting how he's saying all this now and he's just brought back 10 and Donna Noble. I'm telling you, I told you from the beginning, this thing is going to be huge. We got a new member. Welcome to the members club. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Welcome. I really appreciate that. As I said, if you want to watch those RTD, do those RTD watch alongs with us, guys. You know what to do. Maybe they should do 14 channels, one each doctor, see who gets the most and least subscribers, says Garbage. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, welcome aboard. Yeah, I don't see a green thing beside your name, Lado. I don't see a green thing beside your name. I'm only taking the piss, Lee. So did Russell know then in January? Here we go. It's saying it now. Did Russell know in January 2021, like I fucking said, that he'd be handed back the keys to the TARDIS TV show he helped relaunch back in 2005? Have his plans for RTD2 been hiding in plain sight all this time? 8 months on from that September news bomb, we know Donna Noble is indeed back, along with the 10th Doctor, Wilf, Sylvia, and hubby Sean Temple. So basically, this article is saying what I've been saying to you guys even before RTD was announced, when I knew he was coming back and I was telling you that he was coming back, and then it was announced, and then I told you that he had this big grand plan of spin-offs, right? Doctor Who, what did I say though? I said Doctor Who, the main show itself, will have to get itself on solid foundations again. And then what will happen then is, once the show is on solid foundations, then, unlike Disney, because I will say one thing about Disney, you know, they never, if their sequel trilogy wasn't on solid foundations, doing all of these spin-offs, it was always going to be shaky and there was always going to be a chance of fans kicking up. This is why RTD has to be different, right? You have to re-establish the show first. Get it on solid foundations first, and then you can consider your spin-offs. But I would go one further. Bring back Jenny. Bring back Ace. Bring back Nissa if you want to. Give Paul McGann a mini-series, right? Give other doctors a mini-series if you want to do that. If that's what you want to do and that's your grand plan, I'm all for it while we have the main show. I'm all for it. Bring it on. But make sure that the main show first is on solid foundations before you do it. Lee says, when you pay me for work, are you cheeky little sod? I'm only messing. I don't expect you to become a member anyway. Don't worry about that. I'll be bringing you on anyway. You're part of the fucking furniture here anyway. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, I'm happy to support the channel. I really do appreciate. Do you know, I am actually overwhelmed a little bit. Cheryl will tell you, and I've said it to you on numerous occasions here, I was really seriously, you know, this join button has been there for 7 months and I just haven't done anything with it because I didn't want to get a bit of a backlash off anybody. But the thing about it is, and I can't, you know, might sound a bit, how do I put this? But I've got to think of myself. You know, I've got to think of the channel. I have to think of the situation myself and the wife are in. And unfortunately, we're not in the best of situations. So it became a necessity, unfortunately. But you know what? we've put out a couple of streams now. The second one in particular, because the first one was ruined by BBC. But we put out a second one, and we got in there stride. So I'm looking forward to bringing on the other guests for you all, and doing those watch-alongs on the member streams as well. And as I said, that doesn't mean that the watch-alongs that we have done are stopping. They're not. We will continue the Matt Smith era as we've done up to Peter Capaldi, as I said we would do, and we will finish Classic Who watch-alongs. I'll bring them back. I'll bring them back next month in July. They'll be back next month. June is going to be very, 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 very busy for me. So next month we'll be bringing back the watch-alongs, and in between that as well, obviously we have to do Blake 7 and finish Blake 7. I still haven't forgotten that, by the way. So we will finish Blake 7 because I know Alpha would want us to finish it, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So I haven't forgotten that, so don't worry. Garbage says, what happened over the last few weeks must have taken months to plan and organise. Look, RTD, listen, I told you this already. The decision for RTD to return was made months before even Chris Chibnall knew about it. It was months before this decision was made during Series 12. Right? The decision to bring RTD, for RTD to return, was made during Series 12. Right? There's huge, but listen, as I said, right, it's pretty well known out there now that when Chibs stepped down, right, before RTD stepped in, BBC were going to shelve it. It was done. It was done. The big Doctor Who was going to go on hiatus, and we probably would never have seen it return in my lifetime with the damage that's being done to it. Right? But RTD stepped in because he has a grand plan, and that plan is to make this as big as the Star Wars universe, as big as the Marvel universe with its spin-offs. Right? And I wouldn't rule out movies in the future either, with certain Doctors either, because there's been rumours since 2019 of a potential Doctor Who movie starring David Tennant. So don't rule any of these things out. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, I got access to the RTD streams you did a few days ago. I'll check them out after this stream. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, the first one that I did, Cinnamon, I actually added some interviews because I wanted to give some context into what I was talking about. Now, while the live stream went off without a hitch, it was after the live stream, obviously, after it renders on YouTube or does whatever it does on YouTube, and then it was blocked worldwide. So what I've had to do is, and I'm still doing it, and it still won't do it fucking properly for me, I've had to try edit out those interviews so I can keep the stream up. But that's why we did the second stream, myself and Marty, because I wasn't pleased with the first one because of what BBC did. And if people are going to be paying to watch some of these streams, well, I'm going to make sure that you get value for money, right? Because you know me, I'm not going to half-ass this. This will be done properly. That's why I'm doing individual interviews as well. We're doing the watch-alongs, and there'll be other stuff that will be happening on member streams as well, right? I'll be adding new stuff to it and new ideas to it all the time. Why not? I'm not good enough to be a member. Listen, you'll always be good enough to be a member. I don't know. I heard something about gifting memberships, but I don't know how to do that yet, right? So maybe when I know what I'm doing, basically, and I know members can actually gift members, because I've seen that members can actually gift other people memberships if they want to. I'm just saying if they want to. I'm not saying they should, but if they want to. I've seen other channels do that as well. But as I said, look, for me, RTD has to be given a chance, right? You know where I stand on it. And as I said, I do understand that there are some people that do have concerns, but I'm just sick and tired of it. It doesn't matter what I do. I could do a YouTube video, or I could throw up a tweet, or throw up a post on Facebook. Even then, right, I was starting to go on Facebook a little bit more, right? And then I just saw, and then they just stopped me from going on to Facebook because I'm just sick and tired of it. I'm actually sick and tired of it. I'm actually gone past. Listen, as I said, if RTD doesn't do what I expect them to do for Doctor Who, I'm walking away rather than complain about it for the next few years. I'm not going to do what half of these Star Wars people do, right? If the show is not for me anymore, and BBC and Bad Wolf or whatever show me that this show is not for me anymore, well, then I'm going to move on. There's no point in moaning about it for the next 5 or 6 years, right? This Jodie Whittaker era, right, is enough for me, right? I don't want to be going into the RTD era having to complain all the time if it's bad, right? So if it is bad, rather than get on YouTube and complain about and get the clicks and get the money and all of that, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to focus on other stuff instead. We will still talk about our favourite Doctor Who and stuff like that, and we will still Classic Who and all that. Nothing like that will change. But I'll be moving away from the RTD era completely if he doesn't produce. It's done. There's no... Listen, you can argue for so long, right? As I said, right? The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, right? Last Jedi was how many years ago? And we still have people bitching, moaning 7, whatever, how many years later it is, right? They're not happy about Anakin, right? They all wrote off The Mandalorian. Mandalorian is not actually a bad show at all. So they were wrong about that. They're probably wrong about Boba Fett as well, right? Even though I will say, we're what, 2-3 episodes in, and I have to say I find it right now a little bit boring, right? But does that mean it's bad? No, it's just boring right now, right? As for Obi-Wan, I haven't watched it yet because we have to watch the end of Boba Fett, but we're going to be watching Obi-Wan. But again, if I was to listen to people out there, it's woke, it's garbage, it's bullshit. I don't believe them anymore. That's the problem. I just don't believe these people anymore. I used to listen to them and take their word as gospel, right? But then when I start down and watching these things for myself, I wasn't actually feeling the same way as these people. Remember, right? I was probably one of the few channels that was talking positively about Loki. Right? Same with WandaVision. Right? They're all complaining about WandaVision. Right? I still think they were wrong about WandaVision. Right? They start complaining about Loki. I believe they were talking crap about Loki. Right? Especially when they said that he was secondary in his own show. I don't know what kind of glasses you are watching to watch these shows. But you're clearly not watching them properly. Or you just got your mind set a certain way and it's framed a certain way because of all the way fandom has been politicized, and you just can't see past that. But the thing about it is I can. That's the difference between me and others out there. Right? And of course, as you know, I speak my mind. I don't hold back. Garbage lets a comment, but just hold on, Garbage. I just want to see if, because the chat jumped there, just want to see if any of there. So Cinnamon Toast Crunch Force says, while I was on holiday, I spent hours watching old RTD interviews, and now I'm even more excited than I was before. This man just gets it. Exactly, and this is what I've encouraged all of you guys to do. I said this on my last rant, and I don't want to be coming on here and ranting all the time about people, right? But as I said, you know, nobody knows what's going to happen. But what I would encourage people to do is what Cinnamon Toast Crunch did. Go back and watch all these interviews. Go back and listen to what he actually said. And he's done recent interviews as well, by the way. And when I mean recent, in the last couple of years. And go and listen to the way he speaks about Doctor Who. right? Too many people in this fandom have just jumped the gun because of certain castings out there, right? Because it's the same way. Look, they just become their own echo chambers, right? Even if there's a chance of something being good, they write it off. They just won't give any kudos. It's the same at Mandalorian. They couldn't find anything really negative to say, so they start picking up on stupid things like, "Oh, Baby Yoda committed genocide. Oh, that worm thing that was in the EU. It doesn't look the same on screen. Oh, they've changed it. Oh, Jesus Christ! Call the fucking police." Like, leave it out. Anyway, Rachel has thrown up a clipper board. You know those clipper boards for the where they do the scenes. And it's got 1 to 14 on it and loads of different other stuff. And it's got 200, the number 200 on it as well. And people are all starting to speculate who's returning and stuff like that. Doctor Who fan Dan says, "I loved Obi-Wan." "I will save my concerns for when it airs." And that's exactly the way it should be, Lee. And that's all I'm just saying. Can everybody just wait? Just stop, man. Right? Not every decision is based because of a political reason or whatever. I'm just sick of it. Just wait until we see what happens with Doctor Who first. And if they're right, fair enough. You can pat each other on the back and wank each other off. Go ahead. Right? Do a circle jerk if it makes you all feel good. I don't know why you want Doctor Who to fail for anyway. You're supposed to be fucking fans of the show. Garbage says, "The Mandalorian was great, even without the Luke scene. Boba Fett, a bit boring. Obi-Wan episode 1 was good. Not great, but good." But there you go. You're not coming out and you're not coming out and completely fucking dismissing it, mate. You're saying it wasn't great, but you know what I mean? There's room for improvement or whatever. And that's great. And that's the way it should be, mate. But if you listen to you, "Oh no, it's woke, don't watch it, blah, blah, blah." It's just straight away, they knock it down. Right now, I do find Boba Fett a bit boring. But there's things that are happening within it that I find very fucking interesting. And that's what's keeping me there. You know? That's exactly it, Gobby. That's exactly it. They're just looking now at this stage. They're just looking now. And look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that during the Jodie Whittaker era, I didn't go and look for things. We've all done it. But with the Jodie Whittaker, you didn't have to look very far. It was right there in front of your face, smash, bang, wallop. You know what I mean? It was there, right? But we're judging something that hasn't even been fucking released yet. You know? It's like Indiana Jones. They dropped the movie poster. They dropped the first look image, right? Okay? Now, I implore you all to do this because this just goes to show you the state of fandom right now. If you see a photograph of the poster that I'm talking about, go into that person's post, go into their comment section, and all you'll see is, "You go woke, you go broke. Kathleen Kennedy has her greasy hands on this. Da, 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 da. Indiana, the Harrison Ford is too old." I do agree with the too old part, but we don't know how it's going to be done. Sean Connery was in it, played Indy's dad in The Last Crusade, and that worked out, right? Again, though, these people are just moaning because they hate Kathleen Kennedy. And because Kathleen Kennedy's name is associated with it, well, it's got to be woke. Then the poster comes out, right? Not even a trailer. The poster comes out and they're writing the movie off. So that's the state of fandom right now. So this is why I've always said to you, and I've started to say to you over that, especially this last year. right? Year and a half, nearly a year and a half, I say now at this stage. I've been telling you, even though I have personal opinions on Doctor Who, blah, 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 right, this era, I would still say to people, don't listen to me though. That's my opinion. Me panel have their opinion. But if you're thinking about watching this still, and I'll say it now, if you're still undecided whether you should watch or not, what I'll say is, well, the only way you'll find out is if you actually do sit down and watch it for yourself. And then you'll know pretty much straight away whether it's your thing or not. Right? And then you can make an informed decision and say, right, this show isn't for me anymore. Right? But we're judging things before we even see anything now. And this is a dangerous place to be in, folks. Dangerous place to be in. Right? We can't keep writing everything off. Yeah, this groomer business that they're all talking about, as I said, these are the very same people that will give out because their anime characters or whatever, or their video game female characters are covered up because they've censored them. They don't know, they don't realize how contradictory they are. On one hand, they want all their characters to be sexed up and to become basically male Gale objects. But yeah, we'll come out and call Disney a bunch of groomers and stuff like that. And then come out with that ridiculous. And I've seen a lot of that. And that's why I've unfollowed a certain article based media, because I see in the article calling and I had enough. It's absolutely pretty disgusting, actually. Right? There's a photograph. The photograph of Shooty and RTD where they're hugging each other. You know that photograph? Yeah, that person put up that photograph and said, "Okay, groomer," and tried to make it out. Well, this is a 50-year-old man, and he's whatever age he is. It's absolutely disgusting. Actually, it's disgusting. And if people don't call this shit out, I don't care how big they are. Right? That is fucking disgusting. I don't care if you don't like the decisions that Doctor Who has made. You don't be going around and saying shit like that, right? Because it just makes you look like a fucking racist, white supremacist cunt. And I'm sorry, I've had enough. I've had enough because, you know, it's gone too far. It's gone too far. I hated WandaVision. I got to episode 7, I think. I really couldn't put up with it anymore. The two main characters are fantastic actors, but I didn't like the show, unfortunately. But I did try. But there you go, right? But you're not here. But you're not here telling people based off what you think about it to not watch. You're not encouraging people not to watch, are you? No. What you're saying is you've given your opinion. I've said that I think people are wrong, but at the end of the day, go and watch WandaVision for yourself and Loki, as I said, and all these other shows that I mentioned. That's the way it should be. Garbage is entitled to his opinion, just like I'm entitled to my opinion where I say people are wrong. If people disagree with that, they're entitled to that. But what I would say is, you know, you're only going to truly know what these shows are all about and these movies are all about is if you watch them for yourselves. Just do that. Just watch them for yourselves. And as I said, I understand some of the concerns when it comes to Doctor Who, and I do because of the last 5 years. But until we see something actually on screen, folks, we shouldn't be writing it off. And that's why I'm angry. That's why I'm angry. It's because I want Doctor Who to succeed. Right? People on the other side believe that I've done this for the last 5 years because somehow I hate Doctor Who and I want Doctor Who to fail. I never wanted Doctor Who to fail. I've always wanted the best for Doctor Who. And I truly, truly wanted to succeed now. Right? But I'm going to bide me time. I'm going to wait until I see what happens before I judge. I'm not going to judge based off casting decisions.
Nothing to do with you.
So I'm talking away, right? And Cheryl's, right? And I'm like, what are you ordering for? Right? And she goes, oh, no, the dishes. I was like, all right. Like I'm really high. I'm really fucking riled up today, lads. Fucking hell, man.
And yet, I got the beat down.
Yeah. So if anybody missed at the start of the stream, so a couple of lads broke into the complex to try break into the football pitch. But what they do is they damage everything while they're here and they act the bollocks. So I shouted out the window and I told them that they had to leave. And one of them actually looked up at me and says, "You're a cunt, fuck off," right? So Cheryl decides that she's going to go down. Well, I'm going to go down with my phone, right? And I'm going to take
Well, to be clear, I wasn't going down to start shit. I was going down to record so that we had evidence that it's being broken into.
So she asked them to leave, right? And then one of them turned around and says, "Shut up, you fat whore," right? And that's when I fucking lost it then. I even ran down. I've just to make sure Cheryl had gone out the gate.
I think I'm lost right now. You tell me. Do I still look like I'm having a heart attack?
So yeah, there was a bit of drama before I came on.
In
unicorn leggings, yeah.
Can we talk about that?
No, we can't.
How unbelievable badass I am in unicorn leggings.
Unicorn leggings. Do you hear, lads and ladies? There you go. Thank you. You're more than welcome. I thought that shit would calm me down, but obviously not. Anyway. This is probably the most uncensored I've been in a while. Hello, May. Hope you're well, Noel. And Daniel's been joining me for me Red Dead Redemption 2 streams. By the way, I just want to actually thank the people that have been watching, because a lot of people have been watching after the fact, and I'm blown away. We've got 300 odd subscribers on that channel as well, The Irish Geek. So for everybody that has been watching me Red Dead Redemption gameplay story mode, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. There has been some funny moments where, here, listen, I'll give you a laugh, right? So I was riding me horse, as you do, in the wild west, yeah? And this coach was coming up towards me, right? So I tried to move me horse, right, to avoid the coach, but because me controller drifts to the fucking left and right, it drifts all out. I have controller drift, basically, yeah? I crashed right in between the two horses, and I landed at the feet of the two blokes that were on their bleeding horse. They kicked me off the bleeding thing. I thought I was going to get done, though, because I had a bounty from the very first mission where I actually killed a fucking horse and a woman on a horse because I rode. I rode right into them. Yeah. I know. My steering was a bit off. It's a shame that certain sections of fans are becoming as bad as the writers they claim to be against. Exactly. That's what's happened. Mandalorian was great, says Gobby Guy. I enjoyed Boba Fett. As I said, I'm only 3 episodes in, Gobby Guy. I do find it a little bit bored, but there is some good stuff. There is some good stuff happening in it. I'm not going to lie. And that's why I'm still watching. And it'll be the same with Obi-Wan. I'll give Obi-Wan a go. I'm not going to listen to anybody. And I've already seen some of the switch and bait crap coming out of their mouth and stuff like that. I'll watch the show for myself and I'll decide for myself if it is. You know, you got to remember, people have different opinions and people perceive things differently as well. Remember that, folks. That's why it's important to go and watch. This is why I've said to you, critics over the last few years have lost credibility. But what's starting to happen now is those YouTubers that we all used to idolize and we all used to look up to, they're also losing credibility, unfortunately. I don't listen to them. They've become a product of their own success, unfortunately. That's it, Gobby guys. Someone already called something new as woke then. Look, so very, very hard to find something. And that's exactly what happens, mate. That's exactly what happens. This is why I'm kind of on the rant today. Let me see. PD Rich says that Hard Zone. Yeah, the problem with Drinker is he is a trained and qualified writer, author, though, and I think I know who Muller actually is. Jamie Nice says, Noel, you talk a lot of sense. Thank you. Listen, as I said, though, this is just my opinion, right? And this is just my point of view. At the end of the day, as I said, come to your own conclusions yourself. I'm just giving my point of view and my opinions. But I wouldn't actually say to you all, you have to listen to everything I say. You don't. You can take on board what I've said and you can either take it with a pinch of salt or don't, you know, that's the joy. I've been ordered to go and clean the kitchen. Back later. Hello. I don't know what to say about that one. Jody slapped you across the face with agenda. Exactly, that's the difference, man. I generally think, Noel, when RTD2 officially starts, they will come around. Look, at this stage, I don't care if they do. I know. I actually don't. Because Ted's had an accident in the bedroom.
He didn't have an accident.
What?
He didn't have an accident. It wasn't an accident. It was very much on purpose.
Right. So Ted just pissed the floor.
On purpose.
On purpose.
He's mad at me.
I don't really care if they come around or not, right? Shooty will bring in his own fans, and whoever his companion's going to be, because it's not being set in concrete that it's going to be Yasmin. What's her name? Yasmin Finney, is it? So we don't know. And then on top of that as well, you've got to remember RTD has been away from Doctor Who for a while, and he's done other shows and he has fans, right? So he's going to bring his own audience with him. So I don't really care. They can get on board with it or they don't have to. But what I would say to those people is, though, if they're not on board with it and they don't like it, well then don't do what you do in the Star Wars fandom and bitch and moan for the next 5 years. Just leave it now. Just let the people that want to enjoy it, enjoy it. The difference with the Jodie Whittaker era is, because I know someone will bring this up, well, you're being a bit of a hypocrite here, but the difference with the Jodie Whittaker era was this, is that we had our opinions, yeah, and we gave them, right? And we were going to leave it there. But what happened was then we start getting attacked by these newer fans. And they start calling us names and start dragging our reputations and name through the mud. And even going as far as to accuse of very serious allegations, right? Just to what you call it? What's the word I'm trying to use? To delegitimize what we were doing, or to make us look like we were, you know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right? There was an agenda there. This is different. I'm not looking. If RTD doesn't do what I want them to do, I'm gone. I'm walking away. I'm going to let the people that do enjoy it, right? I'll walk away. But there are some people determined in this fandom right now, even with nothing being released except what we've been given, right, are determined to not let people enjoy it. And that's why I'm actually going mad today, is because you won't let people enjoy it. You want people to come around to the way you guys are thinking, right? And if we don't think like that, then yeah, everybody is just negative around. No, I will judge for myself as I've always fucking done. Lee wants you to go and scrub his gaff as well, if you don't mind. Clean his kitchen. Because Lee, you know, Lee could have his house falling around him, right? Lee would rather be fucking working on his computer, doing his videos. He doesn't give a shit about everything else. Once he's doing these commissions, he gets paid. Blah blah blah. He doesn't give a shit, and he's right as fucking well. He's right as well. Yeah, I seen the new trailer. And Willow. Yeah, I seen the trailer for Willow right last night, and I actually found it by surprise. Right, I knew it was happening. Right, we all had heard about it, but I found the trailer last night while I was on YouTube, and I'm gonna tell you, I love the original movie. And I saw the trailer, right? And this was before I read any of the comments, by the way. And it gave me goosebumps. Warwick Davis, seeing him back, I got goosebumps, right? So then I decided to go down and check the comments, and this was the reoccurring him. The trailer looks decent. I'll give it a go, but it's probably going to be woke. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, will you just leave it? Fucking out. You are as bad as the left with all of their shit. Leave it out. You don't know jack shit. The trailer didn't show anything that you consider woke. So what's the fucking issue? Can't wait for Willow. Anyway, they fuck it up, but I am looking forward to it. Look, Shooty is a good actor, right? Shooty is a good actor, right? He's got many different levels, right? Unfortunately for some people out there, they can't see past his skin color. And that's the reality of it. And I'm sorry if that offends some people out there. That's the reality of it. They just can't see past his skin color. They won't look at his CV. I literally show people his CV. I literally show people the amount of awards and BAFTAs that this guy has won. This guy is not a fucking joke. This guy isn't Jodie Whittaker in male form. This is a fucking high quality caliber actor. Same level as Peter fucking Capaldi, right? With the awards that he's won, right? So that's what we're getting. We're getting an actor that actually can fucking act and has won awards because of his acting ability. Not because of his skin colour, but because of his acting ability. So I've no fucking qualms of Shooty. And I do believe he will succeed. And I do believe he will give us a doctor that we can all get behind, to be quite honest, which I do. I do. It's just people want to write it off straight away without even seeing a fucking clip. That's what it is. Things became way too commercialized in pop culture in 2010, says PD Rich. Another good point. Off we go again. People need to grow up, says Gobby Guy. I agree, mate. I agree. It's all got stupid again. It has, mate. It has, and I'm sick of it. Listen, I know I was at the forefront during the Jodie Whittaker era, and there are times, as I've even admitted on this channel, where I should have probably, everybody knew that we were on the right side. Maybe we should have just all backed off and let them self-destruct. But, when they're coming after your friends, they're coming after you, they're saying personal things about your wife and stuff like this, it is very hard to keep your mouth shut. But it is. All the nonsense is starting up again, and it's ridiculous. It's the side of the fandom that's supposed to be there to discuss and defend pop culture. But this side has become just as bad as the left. And I don't mean you guys personally in the chat. I'm just talking about in general. The side that fights for pop culture has just become as bad as the left. It's like you either see things their way or you're the enemy. And it's the same with the left. And a lot of people, I've noticed as well, are unfollowing a lot of accounts out there because they had opinions in the past, right? Got to do with the Whitaker era. And they decided all of a sudden to stop following us because RTD is back and all of this other rubbish. And that's ridiculous as well, but I'm not going to get into that. But all I'm just going to say is there's pettiness and there's stupidity going on in this fandom. And it needs to stop. We can't have another 5 years like we had. Trust me, we can't. We can't. It's not good for the fandom. It's not good for people's mental health. It's not good for anybody. Nobody wins here. That's it. That's the bottom line. Nobody wins here. We all lose. Off to see friends. Have a good chat, says Leland. Yeah, enjoy. It's a lovely day out here in Dublin. I don't know what it's like for you guys everywhere else. Now, we do have cloud, but it's very sunny. And thanks be to God I don't have the sun in my fucking eyes this time.
And for the American audience, that's 63 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius.
Okay, there you go.
But it's sunny and nice, but not great for running when you're on shift.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch says you killed a woman and a horse. Yeah, I killed a woman and a horse. But I will say, for a cowboy, right? Daniel will tell you this. For a cowboy, though, I help a lot of people, right? I do. I help stranded people and all. I was on the middle of a mission. I was in the middle of a mission, or I was going towards a mission, and this poor woman's horse had died, and she needed a lift.
This game is so tragic.
Yeah, and she needed a ride home. So I popped her on my horse and I brought her back to our gaff and she gave me a lovely ring. So, yeah. I've obviously killed a lot of deer because I have to go hunting and stuff like that. I've killed a few rabbits. That's why Cheryl can't watch Red Dead. Right, I'm miles away in the chat, so let's see. Yeah, I'm looking forward to New Horizons as well, PD. Cinnamon has another one there. I personally look at YouTubers the same way I look at news articles. The smaller ones tend to be more reliable and accurate than the big ones. Look, I wouldn't even say that. Look, this is not me having a go at any big YouTuber, right? It's not. I just think they kind of got caught up with what's been going on in pop culture for the past 5 years, and they can't see any other way of thinking. That's it. They're not open to believing that decisions can be made without being woke or political. It's just like the left. If you don't agree with them, they have one way of thinking. And if you don't think with them, it's the same thing. This is why I'm saying both sides are as bad as each other. But also there are some out there that I will say that feed off this, and things being bad or bad in their eyes is a good thing because all they hear is cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Right? I could sit here, right? I could sit here, Jordan, and if the RTD era, right? I could sit here if the RTD era ended up being bad and everything that these people are saying, right? I could sit here for the next 4 years or whatever how long his era goes for and complain about it, right? But I'm not going to. I'm going to move on. I will concentrate on things that I like the Orville, right? I'm actually watching Star Trek Strange New Worlds as well. They're bitching and moaning about that as well. Actually, they're not bitching and moaning about that as much as I noticed because it's actually a decent show. It's the same with Star Trek Prodigy. I decided to check out. Now, this program is aimed for more the kids, but it is suitable for adults, right? But when I was watching it, I was actually saying to myself, well, actually, today's kids are a bit stupid. So, because when I was watching, I was like, kids are not going to get that. Kids are not going to get that. Kids are stupid now. Look what they've been fed. They can't even think for themselves. But Star Trek Prodigy, right? Forget about your Picards. Forget about your Lower Decks. Even forget about Strange New Worlds. The best show with the Trek name is a fucking animation for kids. And it's got Captain Janeway in a hologram Janeway in it. And the last episode, I won't say anything, but the last episode, because I'm a Voyager fan, the last episode, I literally lost me shit. This show, right? And here's the thing, I threw the tweet up and I said, forget about Picard, forget about Lower Decks. The show that you must be watching, right? The show that does the Trek name any justice is this show, right? And the brothers that write the show liked me tweet. They liked me tweet. The creators, the writers of this show have liked me tweet when I said that this is the best thing with the Trek name on it. Right? Now, for anybody, just to let you know, Kurtzman doesn't write an episode, but he is a producer. But I think they just stuck his fucking name in there because just like Kathleen Kennedy, she mightn't have anything to do with it, but you stick her fucking name in. I think this is the same. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you watch how this is written compared to Kurtzman's stuff, right? These lads that are writing this, these brothers that are writing Star Trek Prodigy, they know exactly what they're doing. And the fucking ship is amazing. The opening titles, the theme, is one of the best Trek themes that I've heard. And even the Strange New Worlds theme is actually very impressive as well. I'll give it that. But the best one for me is Prodigy. Now, me and Lee, as you know, we tried to watch Lower Decks, right? Compare that animation to this animation, right? Prodigy wipes the floor with it 17 times over. Seriously, man, I just thought of a random number and 17 just popped out in my head. But this thing is way better. And I'll tell you, some of the characters, it's great. It's good the way it's put together. And you know what? They do humor, but it's not cheap or crass. It's proper fucking humor. It's proper laugh out loud moments. You know, and before anybody says that, well, does Janeway feature much in it? Yes, she features quite a fucking lot in it. And by the looks of season 2, she's going to feature quite fucking heavily. So if you haven't watched Star Trek Prodigy, that's a show that I would recommend. So Yasmin Rose won't be a full-time companion. You're right, Brisk. I agree. This is why I've gone all quiet, because I don't want to upset anybody. Jack, listen to me, mate. Right? I'm going to give you a bit of advice that was given to me. And I never took it. Until I had to. Till it was inevitable that I had to do it. Right? But I wish I had done it 5 years ago, because I wouldn't have went through all the shit that I went through. But this is what I say. Right? Don't ever be silent, or don't ever back off from your opinion because you're afraid you might upset someone. Right? Fuck them. Right? If people out there want to get offended or upset by something you say or we say, that's on them. That's not on us. That's on them. They're the ones with the issue in the first place. If everybody else is okay with it, but you've got a couple of people that don't, well, then that's their problem. That's nothing to do with you. You should be yourself always. Someone asked me for advice out there when setting up a YouTube channel. And this is the thing that I said. Be yourself. Never compromise on your opinions for anything. Right? And stay true to yourself. That's it. If you do those 3 fundamental things, the audience will see that you're genuine. Right? This is why some of these people out there can't believe that I still have subscribers. The reason why is because the people that follow me, subscribe, that are in my chat, that do be on my panels, whatever, right? They know that I'm honest. I mightn't always be right, or I might make mistakes or whatever, like we all do, right? But the one thing that everybody knows when they sign up for this channel, or they not sign up, when they subscribe to this channel, they know what they're getting, right? They're getting someone that will speak their mind, someone who's honest within their own convictions, and someone that doesn't beat around the fucking bush. And just be truthful to yourself, be honest, and never compromise, and you'll be okay. And don't ever worry about upsetting people, because the first time you start worrying about upsetting people, then you start doing things differently. And this was the thing about the members thing as well. And I just want to bring it up. You know, a couple of people that complained to me behind the scenes, which is fair enough. But if I was going to listen to that and worry about what people did, then I would never have done it. Sometimes you just have to say, look, this is the situation and this is why I'm doing it. And I'm still doing it either way. So blah, 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 blah. And those people have been fine since. But they were a bit concerned that I might draw me attention away from all you guys, which I'd never do. And you know that. Of course I wouldn't, man. We've been together for too fucking long. We got Queen Charlotte in the chat. If you stay silent on an opinion because you're worried what others think, then your opinion is worthless. Stand up and speak. Some will love, others will hate, but at least people will know what you stand for. Be true unto yourself, oneself. And I agree with Gabby. I agree. You should never compromise. Never. And at the end of the day, you know, nobody should make you feel like that in the first place, that you feel you can't give your opinion because you're worried you might upset new people. Strange New Worlds is brilliant. Yeah, I've only watched the first couple of episodes because what happened was I got sidetracked with Star Trek Prodigy. So I'm finished that now. I actually finished the whole lot of that show now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue with my Strange New Worlds now. Noel has a kind heart. If I were playing that game, I'd kill everybody, says Daniel. Oh no, Daniel does be like in the chat. Yeah, I do say sometimes to people that are watching, so will I let them live or kill them? Oh, Daniel is like, kill them. Nicholas is in the chat, another member. Welcome. Hi Noel and everybody. Welcome. We'll be finishing up shortly because I've got a Champions League final to watch. I want to see Liverpool get beaten. If not, I'm going to have to move to some other country. So if there's any other country out there that'd like to take Crazy Irishman, just let me know. Nicholas Horton says the remaining 10 episodes of Star Trek Prodigy Season 1 drops later this year. What you mean? Hold on. You mean to tell me that was just the mid-season break? Are you telling me that was the mid-season break and I've got another 10 episodes of this bleeding show to go? Oh my God, I can't wait. Oh man, because the ending of the last episode, I swear. So listen, I'm a Voyager fan. Cheryl will tell you, I do her head in, I do, because all she can hear is the theme tune of Voyager, because I'm watching Voyager yet again. I'm obsessed. It's not the greatest Trek show of them all, and I know it's not, right? But I just love that crew, and I just love Janeway. And, you know, this is the one thing that actually has annoyed me, Jordan, the re-insurgents of Star Trek, is that they never actually considered, they brought back Patrick Stewart to sell out. But why didn't they bring back fucking Janeway and co? Right? Because I know there are books, but I don't read the books, right? I know there's an extended universe. I'm not interested. Whatever is on the fucking screen is what I class, and that's what I've always done, right? Same with these Star Wars fans. I know they talk about the EU quite a lot, right? But what they must understand is that, yeah, fair enough, there's an EU, but not everybody out there that's a Star Wars fan gives a shit about the EU. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of the situation. It's whatever the movies or whatever show. Like, I've watched every single Star Wars movie, right? The classic trilogy, and then obviously when George Lucas decided to do his prequel trilogy, which I don't like, but compared to Disney's sequel trilogy, it's fucking Oscar worthy. But let's be under no illusion. Star Trek has been shit since the original trilogy. I mean, people can bang on about how great George Lucas is. He fucked up the prequel trilogy. The prequel trilogy is fucking CGI laden. It's actually bad. Right? Within those three movies, there are good moments in every single one of them. But be under no illusion, Star Trek has been shit since the original trilogy. This is nothing new. But George Lucas is a god, and you know, even if the prequel trilogy is shit, they won't call him out for it because they hate Disney so much. But the prequel trilogy is not great. But compared to the sequel trilogy, it's I think it is better, slightly better. But Star Wars hasn't been great since the original trilogy. It's been shit. And not every fan, and this is why I hate these Star Wars fucking YouTubers out there. Because they expect every fan or every new fan to come in and learn the EU. No, I've gotten all my knowledge through the movies. Right? As I said, the original trilogy, then the prequel trilogy, and then I watched, obviously, the sequel trilogy. And I didn't agree with things they did in the sequel trilogy. So I don't class the sequel trilogy as part of the original 6 movies. Right? But let's be under no illusion here. George Lucas' 3 original movies are the best ones. And everything after that, movie-wise, has been shit. Except for Rogue One. I have a soft spot for that movie. Even though it wasn't necessary. I did like Rogue One. It's the only Disney Star Wars movie that I actually like. I don't like the rest, but I like Rogue One. I'll probably get a lot of stick for that Star Wars comment, but that's how I feel. But of course, people love the prequel trilogy, and that's fine. That's fine. I just don't. There were a couple of good moments in each movie. But overall, I even remember at the time the media slated those movies. Those movies were blading fucking hammered even by fans. Right? But you don't hear them talking about it. And now all of a sudden the prequel trilogy is great. No, it's not. It's still shit. It's just the Disney Star Wars is worse. But don't try change a third into something that it isn't. The prequel trilogy is just as shit. I mean, you had, during the prequel trilogy, you had the Yoda fights, which were good. But that's what it was about for fans back then. You know, that was the thing. I remember people coming out of the cinemas and, oh, that Yoda fight was amazing. That's what it was all about, man. Nobody gave a shit about anything else that was going on. But this is what I said. This is what I say. You know, it's the same with these modern fans in the Doctor Who fandom. Like, there's an extended universe. But it's an extended universe that we don't count. Right? You can have your extended universe all you want to do your things, but they don't bleed into the main show. Maybe 1 or 2 ideas might bleed into the main show. But other than that, the main show is the main show, and whatever happens in the main show is what counts. Same with the movies. People people don't go out and buy Star Wars books or the video games or the comics, right? these people with their big YouTube channels where all the star were fair play. Fair play, you're right into the heart of it, blah, blah, blah. You know everything, the ins and outs. But the audience that Disney is trying to focus on, right, are people that are fans of the movies, yes, right, but not necessarily fans of the fucking extended universe. Yes, they'll introduce some characters to try give us familiarity with them, but at the end of the day, you know, they'll do whatever they want to do with it. And who gives a shit? I don't really give a crap about the extended universe. Never have. Star Trek's Prodigy Season 1 has 20 episodes in total. It was confirmed by producers of the show, with a second season of 20 episodes coming next. Oh, man. Nicholas, I can't wait. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but I would recommend it. The original series all the way. Listen, Lee, I agree. Look, the original series was brilliant. I've recently watched it with its updated special effects and stuff that they done with it. Great. Absolutely fantastic. Right, even Next Generation, that was my show when I was a kid. That was out when I was actually old enough to remember it. I was fascinated by the Next Generation, obviously, as well. But was it as good as the original? No, never was. Never was. But I did like the Next Generation. And then they started to bring out other shows like Deep. Now, Deep Space Nine, I could never get into. Right? And I still haven't actually gotten into Deep Space Nine. And I've never actually watched all of Deep Space Nine. Now, I have been told that I have to watch it. And I will eventually get around to it because I want to watch it. I wasn't a fan of Enterprise, I have to be honest. I thought that theme tune was absolutely ridiculous. I do like Scott Beluga, but I didn't. And he was a good captain, Captain Archer, but I just didn't like the show itself. I know later on people are saying it started to get good when they decided to pull the plug, which is a shame. But my man and dad love it. They grew up watching Star Trek. My ma has that theme tune. Well, she did on her old mobile phone. She's bleeding obsessed with it. I'd argue it's being shit after Empire, says Problem Being. I'd agree. See, I would agree with you, but you can't have those conversations. But I'd agree with you, mate. I'd actually agree with you 100%. Empire Strikes Back was a fucking absolute gem of a movie, right? But what was it? It was the Return of the Jedi was the one. Wasn't that the one with the Wookiees? Wasn't it? Wasn't that the one with the Wookiees, Return of the Jedi? See, I forget now. It's been ages since we watched Star Wars, even though we did a watch-along on this channel a couple of years ago. But yeah, the Return of the Jedi, that wasn't great. Star Trek has always been the better franchise for me anyway. There you go. That's controversial, but Star Trek, the Force movie, yeah, it gets its criticisms, but I like the motion picture. The Wrath of Khan, what can I say? I mean, probably one of the greatest movies ever made. Star Trek movies, fucking brilliant. I love The Search for Spock, and I do love The Voyage Home. I actually like most of the movies, even The Undiscovered Country, which has its fucking flaws. I actually like that. And I like the other one. Then after, wasn't there another one? The William Shatner, was that the William Shatner one? I keep getting confused now because fucking it's been ages since I've actually sat down and watched the Trek movies. Actually, we should do that. We should actually do the Trek movies. Obi-Wan got me through the prequels. Exactly. I mean, Ewan McGregor and Samuel L. Jackson. There was some great casting in the prequel trilogy. I will say that. But let's not beat around the bush. You know, the reason why the original franchise was successful, right? If you listen to some of the ideas that George Lucas originally wanted in his original movie, I mean, they're way out there. If it hadn't have been for people that were around them, particularly his wife at the time, we wouldn't have got the Star Wars movies that we got. So people need to kind of, you know, take a cold, hard look at this. The Ewoks, yeah, they fucking hate them. Not the Wookiees. I keep getting mixed up between the Wookiees and the Ewoks. The Ewoks, yeah, them fucking, I hate them. They even featured, didn't they feature them in one of the shows that I'm watching? I just can't stand the Ewoks. Probably one of the worst things he brought into the fucking thing. But that was to sell toys, wasn't it? Star Trek The Motion Picture is my favourite Star Trek film. Yeah, I mean, no, they criticise the uniforms now, but I do love that movie, Voyager, obviously based off Voyager 1, the probe that we sent out. Deadly movie, mate. It is. And I mean, that force. Do you ever see the extended version of the opening of that movie where they're showing the Enterprise and all? Oh, man, listen, man, I get goosebumps every time I see them saying any scene of the Enterprise or a starship in the Trek. They did it with Voyager as well in an episode later on where they go back to fucking they go back to the very beginning where Voyager's at where Voyager's at dry dock, and they just show the ship with all the lights, and it just, no matter what you say about that ship, and I know people criticize Voyager's ship, but I actually like the shape of it. They used to call it a fucking, they had a name for it. I think they called it a fucking sea lion. It looked like a sea lion or a mantis or whatever you fucking call it. They were giving out about it, right? But I like it. But seeing it all lit up and all, it just looked amazing. And it's the same with that movie. Wrath of Khan is brilliant, man. What a bleeding movie. What a bleeding movie, man.
Even I've seen the Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, even Charles seen the Wrath of Khan.
Multiple times.
What a movie. That movie, look, that movie itself, that is, right? I have my personal favourites, but the Wrath of Khan, Star Trek movie, right? Even though I don't like the Force movie, the Wrath of Khan to me is the best Star Trek movie, original cast movie. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, and she's the Star Wars fan, and she likes it. It's the same with Next Generation. My favourite movie out of all of that series is Force Contact, and the rest for me are just... I mean, don't get me wrong, this is going to cause an awful lot of controversy, but I actually like Star Trek Nemesis. I have a soft spot for that movie, but I know it's terrible. But the Next Gen movies actually let me down. I was very disappointed in the Next Gen movies. But what pissed me off is that after the Next Gen movies had went, I always thought there was an opportunity to do a Voyager movie franchise. Now, obviously, it wouldn't have been as big as the Next Gen and the original series movies. But I was hoping that Janeway and the crew, after they came back from Earth, and I know there's books to explain what happened, but I would have loved to see that on screen on a big movie, maybe a trilogy of Voyager movies. Or even better, I had an idea, right? Because there was a 2-part story that was always supposed to be a full series story arc, or they were considering doing it, but they didn't. And it was The Year of Hell. And I always thought, imagine doing a trilogy of movies on The Year of Hell, bringing Kurtwood Smith back, because he still looks great, right? You could bring him back, bring back the crew. Or what happens is the younger crew is there, but Janeway and Co have to go back to the future, to the Delta Quadrant, because something happened. Oh man, I had ideas. But that's why I love Star Trek Prodigy. I love Janeway. She's one of my favourite captains. She's up there. And apparently I hate women. Space Dock. I keep saying Dry Dock. It's Space Dock. Yeah, I've seen the anime. Yeah, Star Trek Continues. I've watched them. Yeah, because I have that app, as you know. Yeah, I've checked it. Listen, this is what I've been going and doing. I go back to Voyager all the time, but I've been checking out all of these other Trek shows. Obviously, I haven't watched. Look, Picard. I might give another go because season 2. But I'm hearing that's not improving. But I'm definitely not going anywhere near Discovery. I just didn't like that. And even Strange New Worlds, even though I do like it, it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the dialogue or the way they're acting, but they just don't act like Starfleet to me. Or the way I see Starfleet if I was to base it off the old shows that I watched. But the thing about it is, I've got to remember that these franchises do change with the time. I don't know. I see Starfleet as more uniform sort of thing, not it's the way they talk, it's the way they respond. And it's just when I watch a Kurtzman Trek, the way they talk and the way they respond is not very Starfleet to me. Just get where I'm coming from? So it's harder for me to kind of get on board with it. So I have to watch it a couple of times to let it sink in. Well, I did like the first Star Trek JJ Star Trek movie, but we won't get into that because I'll probably fucking start an argument with people over that one. Star Trek Continues is great except for episode 2, says Lee. That's what I said. Did you mean Kurtwood Smith? Yeah, he's 78. He's actually doing that 90 show. So he's still around. He's doing that 90 show. He's doing they're doing a spin-off of that 70 show. Yeah, even William Shatner wasn't happy with that. That's a bit of one for him. But yeah, Generations gave a lot of fans a lot of optimism that this was going to be one of the greatest movies ever made. And then it turned out to be a bar fest. And the fact that Kirk's character, Captain Kirk or whatever, old Kirk, was going to give up on the Federation never set well with me either. It never set well with me either. So yeah, I don't like so many. Yeah, but when he did the lens flares in the original Star Trek movie, that was something new, right? It's when he continued to fucking do it for the rest of the movies. That's when it became a bit tiresome. But that first movie, I don't care what anybody says, that first Star Trek movie is actually a decent movie. It's a very good movie. I literally went in to watch it. I went downstairs and I got another ticket and I went in to watch it a second time straight away. Right? I've never done that for a Trek movie, by the way. But I enjoyed it so much. So I'm not going to sit here and lie because Kurtzman is a hack and a fraud now. And we've all seen him for what he is now. Right? And JJ. Right? But the thing about it is, I like JJ's first Star Trek movie. It was a good basis started off to do it. It was the second movie, Into the Darkness, is where everything just fell apart. And then after Into the Darkness, it didn't matter what they did after that, right? Because everybody was going to judge because of Into the Darkness. And let's be honest, it was a piss poor fucking movie. It had its moments, but it was piss poor. And it also features Noel Clarke, who blows up the Federation. Raymond O'Reilly, another member, has popped into the chat and he says, "Hey lads, hope you're having a great weekend." Well, I will if Real Madrid beat Liverpool in the Champions League fucking final. Then I'll be happy. But I'm having a good weekend. I'm good. I'm good. The form is not too bad. You know, we did start off in a bit of a rant at the start, but we're fine now. I wasn't a fan of Star Trek Generations movie, especially how they handled Captain Kirk as Nicholas Horton. I just wanted to stick that up, even though I did read it out. But I do agree. Discovery was just following in the same woke footsteps as most Trek. Yeah, I just didn't like Discovery because some of the stuff that they did just made no sense, man. See, this is the thing, right? Kurtzman is great at writing Hawaii Five-O, the rebooted version, right? I love it, right? I'm not going to sit here and say like everybody else, I hate everything that Kurtzman has done, because that's a lie, right? I don't. He did Hawaii Five-O, fucking brilliant, and I was addicted to that show. And I recently started rewatching the show. I will tell you, I've gotten to the last couple of seasons, which I'm holding back on because I know it's going to be a bit of a heavy watch, so I'm preparing myself. But I loved Hawaii Five-O. He's great at doing other things, but the problem is he's the same as Chris Chibnall, right? He doesn't understand Star Trek, just like Chris Chibnall doesn't understand Doctor Who. Right now, the difference though between Chibnall and Kurtzman is I don't think Kurtzman has come out and ever said he's a Star Trek fan. If he has, that's fair enough. I've never seen of him saying that. But Chibnall's supposed to be a Doctor Who fan. But look what he did with the show. But these are people that just don't know how to write sci-fi. And if you see what Kurtzman and co are doing, these are people that don't know how to write sci-fi. This is why I'm saying these two brothers that have done Star Trek Prodigy, in fairness, they should be given a live-action Star Trek show to actually do, because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. But the problem is Kurtzman will let them just do that animation because it's not part of the main shows, you know what I mean? And it won't show him up, sort of thing. Because it's on Nickelodeon, people will ignore a sort of thing. You know what I mean? That's what he's thinking, right? But in fairness, it's the best thing with the Trek name on it at the moment. Now, in fairness, I will say that's me judging it after just seeing 2 episodes of Strange New Worlds, which I did actually like. So it could be the second thing with the Trek name on it that's actually decent. Because so far, Strange New Worlds is not too bad. As I said, I am finding the dialogue or the way they talk not very Starfleet right now. And that's what's kind of turned me off Kurtzman Trek. Is because they don't act or behave like Starfleet officers. That's my only problem. It was a weirdly out of place movie, Lee. But I agree with you. Great on the big screen. I mean, if you look at all the way all the other next generation movies were made, even tonal wise, this movie was completely different. And you know, it might have worked if they had kept that tone from the very beginning when they brought the crew in. But you're right, it did feel out of place. And we did have a very young, at the time, Tom Hardy playing the villain, which he was brilliant. Listen, that movie is actually not a bad movie. It just does, I do agree with you. It does feel weirdly out of place. And I think that's why that movie gets a lot of hate as well, because if you compare it to the other next gen movies, it isn't fucking, it doesn't have the continuity as the others. It just looks like a sore thumb. It's dark. It's dark for a next generation movie. That's the thing. I love it. No, man, he's alive. He's in the fucking. He's in the new bleeding. Hold on, man, you have me confused now. Jesus Christ, you nearly gave me a heart attack. No, he's still alive. He's 78 years of age. And he's going to be in that 90 show. There you go, that 90 show. I'll show you. And Netflix has ordered that 90 show straight to series in October 2021 with the original cast members Kurtwood Smith and Deborah Jo Rupp set to executive produce and reprise their roles as Red and Kitty Foreman. So it is happening. It's going on Netflix. Or it's already there. No, it's coming out in 2023, and it's going to be a movie. It's not a show. It says historical film, 2023 historical film. So it's coming out in 2023. So he's still alive and kicking. But you know what? It's weird that you say that. Because you know what flashed into me head? Mandela effect. Because I'm pretty sure, like yourself, it just seems a bit weird. Do you ever get that sometimes you think there's a celebrity dead, but then you're checking they're alive, but you're almost convinced that you saw somewhere. But remember, we get all of these fake death notices all the time, so maybe that's what it was. Lee is telling everybody to watch Barry. Might as well let you all know there, because obviously, he's championing that show at the moment. Raymond O'Reilly says, "Hey lads, hope you're having a great weekend. We are indeed. We are indeed. Thank you. Hope you're having a good one too." Let me see. No Way Home was good, but overrated. I'd have to disagree with you on that one. No Way Home was not overrated. Listen, I'm not even a Spider-Man fan, right? And that movie exceeded all of my expectations. That's the best Spider-Man movie right there. That'll never be touched again. Having those lads together in that movie was fucking pure genius, and it should have happened a long time ago. I'd actually even go as far as to say I'd love to see the three of them in another one. I'm pretty sure, man. That's what I'm saying. It was the same with what's his name? Your man that does Vader's voice. What's his name? I can never get his first name. Earl Jones. What's his fucking first name? James Earl Jones. I thought he was dead. Right? I was convinced he was dead. I was even convinced there was a big, huge fucking announcement about his death. But apparently he's still alive. So, I don't know, man. I used to think that this Fandom Menace thing was a bit of a... Oh, not Fandom Menace, because someone mentioned the Fandom Menace. This Mandela effect thing is nothing. But I don't know, man. There's something fucking weird going on. Lee says the Fandom Menace crowd hate Kenobi, so it's actually good. Look, they're entitled to their opinion, but I just think, as I said, they've kind of gotten into this cycle where they just can't see anything good, and it's not a good look. The person who physically played Vader died. Yeah. No, but they were definitely talking about James Earl Jones when I'd seen it. But we did speak about the Mandela effect on this channel before, but maybe that would be something that we could that's something we could go back on, because obviously there's been some more Mandela effects apparently out there. Be interested to see them and talk about them and discuss them, whether you believe it or not. Daniel, the original series of Star Trek is probably the easier to try first, as there won't be as much stuff to know going in. I agree. I think if you're going to start off watching Star Trek, the entry point, I believe, is the original series. So you'd have to watch the original series first, and then watch the continues, and then obviously Next Generation, and stuff like that. But listen, I don't want to hear about anything got to do with Kenobi. I haven't watched it, so even if you didn't like it, just keep that to yourself, will you? For now, until I watch it myself, until we decide to talk about it, if we do decide to actually talk about it. But I don't want to hear stuff, because I want to go in without knowing what's going on. Yeah, I haven't watched that, and so keep the spoilers out. And I don't want to hear whether you liked it or disliked it. At the end of the day, I want to judge for myself. So, Jesus Christ, that's so... I knew that was going to happen. Bastard. Right, anyway, I better get the TV on. What time is it? Shit, Champions League final is already fucking on. Hold on. Jesus, it's very warm. Oh! Yeah, I have to also talk about getting into Star Trek. Yeah, well, I would start with the original series. No, I did say I was leaving for the Champions League final anyway. I made it clear at the very start of the stream. I've just totally forgot about time, because we got sidetracked about Star Trek and other stuff as well, which I suppose is great. Yeah, and now you all know where I fucking stand with Star Wars and Star Trek anyway. Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen the poster. If that's the poster, if that's what Winnie the Pooh actually looks like in that horror movie, well then, no. Well, anyway, I don't like Winnie the Pooh is the most overrated bear fucking thing. Winnie the Pooh is an asshole, right? Winnie the Pooh is an asshole. Winnie the Pooh goes around stealing fucking honey and shit. Winnie the Pooh is an asshole. Right? Feck Winnie the Pooh. No problem. That's absolutely a relief. Seriously, Winnie the fucking Pooh. What next? Leprechaun on steroids in space? I know they did Leprechaun in space, but what are they going to do next? Seriously, absolutely fucking ridiculous, man. And you wonder why the film industry is in the gutter right now. I mean, who wants a Winnie the Pooh fucking horror movie?
It's not real.
What do you mean?
It's not real.
It is real.
No, someone made a trailer for it. It's not real. They're saying because it's ready to go back into the public thing, the public realm. It's ready to be like the Wizard of Oz, and it's kind of open for everyone.
Well, apparently it's not real. Apparently that isn't real. Apparently that's a fan thing.
Someone started that on TikTok.
All right, someone on TikTok started it. Apparently it's not a real. They're not actually doing a Winnie the Pooh horror. Apparently, according to Cheryl. But even though I've seen the media and the film thing actually talk about that it is happening. So I don't know why we're getting conflicted information, but careful, Noel. Winnie the Pooh stands will be in uproar. Well, the wife says she's going to divorce me. Who gives a shit? Winnie the Pooh is a fucking thief. All right.
You shut your mouth.
The best character in that show is Tigger. Fuck Winnie the Pooh. It's all about Tigger. Right? And Piglet. I know what I'll do with Piglet. I'll put Piglet in a nice pot roast. Yeah? I'll roast that baby up and make some fucking rasher sandwiches out of Piglet. That's actually what the Winnie the Pooh horror movie should be. Bit of cannibalism from Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh fucking heart, get away. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says, agree. Love Tigger's cornflakes. Oh, yeah, I like Paddington. I can never say it right. Paddington Bear. Jesus Christ, just get your words out now. Yeah, actually, I do like. Yeah, that's the bear I like. Yeah. Decent chap. Same with Stuart Little. Love Stuart Little as well. Well, it's an old movie, but I actually love that movie. That movie has a lot of charm. Great movie. Well, I guess it's going to be an indie horror movie. Apparently, it's not happening. Apparently, that was a thing. Apparently, it's going back in the public. This is what Cheryl has explained it as. So, like The Wizard of Oz some years ago, it's going back into the public domain, right? It's the same with Winnie the Pooh. It's going back into the public domain. So what's happened is, because it's in the public domain now, fans and people out there come up with concept trailers and shit like that. And that's exactly what's happened with this poster, apparently. It's all a fan thing. It's not a real thing, apparently. But as I said to Cheryl, all the news media and outlets that do talk about movies are all talking about as if this thing is actually happening. So either everybody's being fooled, which has happened, or the fan concept is becoming a reality now. Because remember, fan concepts before have actually started off and then something would be done. And the perfect example of that would be the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where that fan put out that concept trailer, right, for a new version. I know we have to finish it, and we will. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and then Will Smith and co. Decided that they would do an updated version of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So it's happened before. Concept trailer or poster has inspired then these things to be made. But either they've all been fooled or it is just a fan thing, as Cheryl has said. I don't know. Cinnamon Toast Crunch says every animal has a food item associated with them. Winnie with honey, Paddington with marmalade. I hate marmalade though. I've never really liked marmalade. Who would want a Winnie the Pooh horror anyway? Exactly. That's what I mean, Charlotte. I don't get that. Why would anybody want to see a Winnie the Pooh horror fucking movie? It just, I mean, Winnie the Pooh is literally for kids, so why would they? It just doesn't make any sense.
They actually are filming it, you're right.
Oh, they are doing it right. You are right.
People are mad about it.
Of course, they're mad about it. Who wants to watch a Winnie the Pooh horror anyway? Right. Will Will Smith will now be Fresh Prince of Bel End. Look. I'm just going to say something here, right? About the whole Will Smith thing, right? I've already given me your opinion on it. Yes, he made a mistake. It's time for people to move on now. Okay? Everybody makes mistakes. Okay? We all have. Are we all going to take out our fucking pointy fingers and keep pointing the finger at him? Right? He should be entitled to move on from this. Right? Just like Chris Rock has moved on. All right? It's done. He shouldn't have done what he done. And personally speaking, I said he should have done it backstage if he had a fucking problem. Right? But he did what he did. It's done. He's paid the price for it now. Okay? He's not going to be able to be nominated for fucking an Oscar or anything like that. Right? For fucking 10 years or whatever it is. Right? He's being kicked out. Right? He's paid for it. All right? So people just need to back off him and back off everything now. See, this is what happens in this. They latch on to something and people continue it all the time. It happened. It's done. Everybody needs to move on because they're certainly moving on. We need to move on too. Will Smith faced the consequences for what he did. All right? It'll be, we don't know if we will see him working again. We'll just have to wait and fucking see. Should he lose his career for it? No, I don't think so. Right? But at the end of the day, he did make a mistake, but he's paid for it now. So everybody needs to fucking move on and leave it out. Seriously, man. This is what happens. We get too bogged down. We like to take people down and continue even when they're down. Right? Years ago, right, you take people down and that was it. It was done. Job done. But now it's take people down when they're on the ground, then let's keep kicking them while they're down on the ground. Right? People are just relentless and just keep going and going and going and going and going. Right? Instead of actually fucking saying, okay, they made a mistake. Let's all move on. But no. Everybody else thinks they're better than everybody else out fucking there. Right? We all make mistakes. We're all imperfect. Right? Nobody is perfect because if there was a fucking perfect human being out there, well, trust me, they'd fucking stick out like a fucking sore thumb because the rest of us are not perfect. And the match is being delayed for some weird reason. So, there you go. Lee jinxed the fucking match. Well done, Lee. Bel Air reboot was awesome. Loved it. Yeah, exactly. I noticed when it first came out, there was a load of articles saying how woke it was, but then they stopped talking about it because they realized that the argument was fucking stupid because the original show was exactly that, right? But this show, the updated version, Daniel, that you've been watching, that I told you about, and you went and you watched it and you've enjoyed it, is actually a great show. They respect the original and it gives a new take on it, and I like it, right? Not everything that's rebooted is bad, folks, right? Not everything that's remade is bad, folks, right? Well, if you're to listen to everybody out there, it is, right? But that's not the case, and it's not the reality of the situation. Lise Paddington is respectful, well-mannered fellow. Exactly. Winnie the Pooh is just a little fucking teeth. I'm getting animated over fucking Winnie the Pooh. I love it. I love these streams where we just go off on a tangent and do whatever. Where's Wally? But we already did discuss what we needed to discuss anyway. Lee says you're welcome. Yeah, I knew you'd say that. Well, no, you're not a sports fan anyway. And neither is poor Cheryl. But there you go. The match is delayed because of Ukraine. What? Oh, the final was delayed. Okay, not tonight delayed. But the final was delayed because they had to move it to another state. Okay, I get it. I thought they were saying because something was happening in Ukraine, the match is like that, because that's like, this might sound harsh, but like life goes on. Like, you know, we can't keep dropping everything when something happens, unless it's a nuclear fucking bomb or something. Lee, your powers are become. I know he's jinxed me fucking match, Charlotte. Give out to him. I was looking for. Come on. And Cinnamon Toast, and we're going down. And Daniel says, okay, Noel, I do the same on my streams. Yeah, I don't really go off tan late. I haven't really done that lately. But, you know, I didn't want to just come on and discuss what we were discussing and not talk about other stuff as well, because obviously it's been, I did that pre-record and stuff, but I haven't been live in a couple of days. So, Sefeka, you know, we might as well go for as long as we can anyway. I'm enjoying it. I have to believe and say I've got the I'm surprised actually I've got the volume down enough so hopefully you can't hear the TV. But yeah, now I've got to figure out if I want something to eat, because you know Cheryl had her dinner earlier and she was like, "You're gonna have yours." I don't know, man. My stomach is in a jock, but I seem a bit okay now, so I might have. I don't know what to do actually, because it's so warm in here that when I put the cooker on, this place becomes like a bleeding fucking sauna. It's unbearable. But the sun is starting to disappear now behind them clouds, so good. Stay behind them fucking clouds. Temperature will drop a little bit. But yeah, interesting. You know what's happening. I mean, I watched the new show. See, I've noticed as well. Have you not? See, there's a lot of good. Look at Lee has just told you about a show called Barry, right? Lee will back me up as well. I recommended a show for him called From, right? And Lee will tell you what he thought of it in the chat. But I thought it was very good, actually, really good. Cheryl got into it as well, right? Brilliant, right? If you were to listen to people out there, right, Hollywood is incapable of making decent programs, right, or decent movies, right? But that's not the reality of the situation, folks. See, what's happened here is that people have decided to just focus on the negative, right? They never really, it's very rare that they'll talk about something positively on their channels, right? They just focus on all the negative. And I can understand it to a certain extent, because yes, they're pointing out all the things that's wrong, right? But where I've always tried to come from is that there is a balance, and I think I have over the last. I have even said it, even during the Jodie Whittaker era. When we have spoke about other stuff, I have been talking about other TV shows, and I have been talking about other movies that are out there. Hollywood is not creatively bankrupt like people are making it out to be, right? There's still good movies being made. There's still good TV shows being made. The problem is that people will rather focus on the negative all the time, that people won't go and look on these different apps, these different streaming services, and go and find shows, because they're told that, well, because this show is on Netflix, the whole of Netflix is woke, right? That's not true, right? Netflix are making some good shows. There are still some good shows featured on Netflix, but people would rather focus on all the negativity. Now, I know Netflix is in a bit of trouble right now. There is no denying that, because, you know, some of the stuff that they have produced is absolutely ridiculous, and we've seen that, and it has affected their brand. It's not just affected them, it's affected Doctor Who, Star Wars, Star Trek, the whole lot, right? All of this injection of certain types of politic and certain types of agenda, right? But I'm telling you now, within all of that mess, there is still good stuff being made, right? For example, Joker, the movie, right? Hollywood's bankrupt, but DC is apparently is bad and all this, but they can produce a movie like Joker, right? Well, Hollywood, what we should be doing is we should be nudging Hollywood in that direction and say, well, look at how much money you actually made for that movie. Look how much money you made for this movie. Now see how much more you can make if you concentrate on pleasing your general audience, right? But people rather just focus on the negative all the time and keep giving out about the same people every day, right? But you get nowhere. They're still producing and making those shows. So why not have a balance? Still talk about those things, but also highlight the positive stuff that's being made out there, right? There are plenty of decent TV shows out there, right? Lee keeps banging on about Barry, right? I keep banging on about From, right? And there are other TV shows that I've seen other people mention in the chat as well that they keep banging on about, right? Same with movies out there. Oh no, you should watch this movie. You know, Lee will make a recommendation or Charlotte will make a recommendation. You know, there's still good stuff being made out there. I would not have a problem with all of these people that I do now, right? Because it's gone to, like for the first couple of years, you could accept it being all negative because it was. But Hollywood is starting to change in certain quarters, and there is still decent stuff being made. But these people, as I said, would rather just focus on all the negative all the time. I would take these people more seriously and start going back and watching these people again if there was a more balanced view. If they weren't just focusing on the negative, but they were also focusing on some of the positives that are coming out of Hollywood, the TV shows and the movies. Right? Not everything is bad out there. Did you see mostly of HBO shows? They are mostly what? No, because I'm not with HBO Max anymore. Right? We originally got it, I think, for a while because we wanted to watch the Snyder Cut. I don't know if it's still there. Actually, Cheryl, have we still got HBO Max? No. We only got it because we wanted to watch the Snyder Cut of the Justice League. Right? We got the 3-month trial thing, and then we decided then after that, after we paid for 1 month or something, that was it, right? Because we weren't interested in that. We just got it for the Justice League. And I think there was one other thing we did watch on it, but that was it. But we can't have it. But this is the thing. Not everybody's going to be able to get HBO Max, Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, and all of these other apps. You've got to pick and choose what you want, right? So so all of these people that are actually complaining, right? You've got the power of choice because there's so many different streaming platforms there. Yes, you might like some of the content that streaming platform does, but you've signed up for it because you do like something that they have done, right? But then these people are shooting themselves in the foot. Then they're saying, "Oh well, like, people should get rid of HBO Max. People should get rid of Disney Plus. People should get rid of Netflix, and people should get rid of this, that, and the other." Right? So you don't want people to watch television at all, just to listen to you ramble on how shit it is, then, because that's TV now, right? Nobody hardly watches cable anymore, right? It's streaming services, or it's a Skybox or satellite TV, right? Or digital TV, whatever they call it nowadays, right? That's what TV is. Right? So it's all well and good you sitting on your chair, right? Which are beyond thousands of subscribers, and the money is rolling in to tell people to give up HBO Max and to give up their TV experience because you don't like what they've put on that platform. As I said, you control what you watch, right? As I said, Those shows that are woke, are these streaming apps actually forcing you to watch them? No. They might tell you that they're there, but are they actually forcing you to watch them? No. You could choose not to watch that, but watch something that you bought the streaming platform for in the first place. Right? This is what's gone wrong with this whole situation now. A few years ago, it was all justified. Yeah? Because everything was bad a few years back. But it's changing now. These people aren't changing with it. They're stuck in 5 years ago, 7 years ago, and they're stuck there in a time warp, and they haven't moved on. It's the one thing I can say, the people I know and you other YouTubers that I know out there, right? Especially the smaller ones, and someone did make the point, and I don't necessarily agree though, but they do have a point when it comes to, I've seen these smaller YouTubers grow and see these smaller YouTubers actually, see that there are bright sprouts of stuff happening, right? And they're given a more balanced appraisal of it all. And that's why I've kind of unsubbed a lot of them, because it's not that I'll never go back to them. Just right now, I'm just, if that's all you're going to do, just focus on all the negative all the time, well then, I'm sorry, I signed up to your channel because you said you were a pop culture channel. I expect some good news as well as the negativity, and there is some good shows and movies being made. They never talk about them. They might put up a tweet talking about it for 5 minutes, and they might talk about it for 5 minutes on their channel, but they move quite swiftly on, and then they'll continue with their negativity about other thing. Kathleen Kennedy, if it's either Kathleen Kennedy, Alex Kurtzman, it's the same. It was Ryan Johnson a few years ago. His name pops up the odd time as well now. The new thing is Lord of the Rings of Power. Then it was the Wheel of Time. It's just constant negativity all the time. It was the same with The Watcher. Now, I haven't watched The Watcher. I did watch the first episode. Cheryl watched it with me, actually. I remember. I don't know. She actually watched a few minutes because she looked at it and she basically said it wasn't her thing. Right? So I get that. Right? But I was enjoying it. I'll go back and watch that. But if I was to listen to everybody else, what they were saying, this is the worst show that was ever made. But then Charlotte has watched it. And I've listened to what Charlotte... Listen. I'll put it to you this way. If Charlotte was there, and say one of these people were here, right? And I had the both of them on. And I would say, would you recommend The Witcher? Right? They would talk about how woke it is, right? And about blah, 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 and how he's secondary in his own show, right? But Charlotte will say, right, this is what the show is about, and this is why they do certain things, right? The other side won't give you an explanation. But Charlotte will give me a detailed review, right? And tell me why they've made, because I'll ask her a question about why have they done this, or the other side are pointing this out, why have they done that? And she'll explain it. And then I'll get where they're coming from because she's explained it, right? There's some disingenuous stuff that goes on as well. They deliberately leave out certain information as well, or don't bring these kind of things up. That's why I would listen to Charlotte when it comes to The Witcher over anybody else in this fandom, because she sat down and she's watched the whole lot of it. So I would trust her review, because I know that if there was anything bad in it, she'd tell me, right? But she wouldn't just focus on the negative. She wouldn't focus on the negative, but she'd give me a balanced view of what it's about, so that I could still make up my own mind and go say, okay, I'll check that out. That sounds decent enough. I'll check it out. You know? Yeah, I meant The Witcher. Yeah, that's what I meant. But that's what I'm saying. If I brought two people on, one from that side, say that side that we're supposed to be on the same side, but they've completely skewed, in my opinion. But you brought one of them on, they just talk about how woke it is and how he's secondary in his own show and how the woman is the best as ever and all of this other rubbish without giving real explanation. But I know if I was to ask you about The Witcher, you'd go into a detailed review and you would point out things that you liked and things that you disliked, but you would say at the end of the day, it's either worth checking out, but that's my opinion. You would say, that's my opinion. I think it is worth checking out. And I would say, based off that, I'd say, do you know what? I might actually check that out because of what Charlotte. You know what I mean? Whereas other people are just have wrote it off. Let me see what Nicholas Horton has to say about it. He says, The Witcher show still has some good elements in most episodes from both season 1 and season 2. See, there you go. From that, I can read from your message is that while there are some good elements, you're obviously saying also, without actually saying it though, is that there might be some things in it that if you either play the games or something like that that you mightn't like, which I get. It's the same with this Uncharted movie, right? Cheryl was telling me that there was a lot of backlash from people that played the games. Now, I have every single game. Every single game. I sat here one night, poor Cheryl was sitting at the and I was playing these games. I think she was on her computer or doing something, but she was in the same room and I was playing these games. I have them all, right? Love them, right? Watched the movie. Was the movie everything I hoped that it would be? No. Did the movie stick strictly to the games? No. But did it give me enough to keep me happy? I would say yes. Was the acting good in it? Absolutely fantastic. Tom Holland and Sony have this thing going. I don't think someone joked. I don't think Sony will ever let Tom Holland go. Well, if they had any brains, they wouldn't because he's an absolute superstar. Mark Wahlberg, I'm not the greatest fan of his, right? But him and Tom Holland are fucking brilliant together. He's brilliant as Sal. And there was a couple of cut scenes at the end of the movie. So I'm hoping they are doing the second one. But I want the second one. Was it everything that I wanted it to be? We're not always going to get everything. But if it has enough in it that I enjoy, and to be honest with you, a reminder, it's no Indiana Jones, I will say that. But you know what? It's not a bad one of those movies, what I would call, archaeology or history, trying to find treasure. We've had, like, I love movies like that. So, I loved that movie. I loved it. It wasn't everything that I wanted it to be, but there was enough in it. And as I said, Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg were absolutely brilliant in it. And there's a couple of wow scenes in it as well, I have to say, especially when they find the two pirate ships. Bleeding brilliant. Shelley, the books are the best, but the games and the show are good in their own right. Exactly. Look, there are the books as well. And this is the thing that people have to remember. These companies have to try please everybody. Right? They've got to please the people that that have read the books but have never played the games. Right? Then they've got to please the people that have played the games and read the books. Right? And this is the thing. They're never gonna please everybody. There are some shows that you can. Like, for example, Cobra Kai. I think if you're a Karate Kid fan, you're very pleased the way the trajectory of this show has gone. And I think it's pleased old fans and new fans alike, right? But there are certain things that it's not always going to happen that way. So, again, we have to be problematic? Is that the word I'm trying to use? We just have to be that. It's just, I don't know. Nicholas Horton says, I also liked watching the animated prequel Witcher movie. Charlotte, did you know about that? Because if you didn't, there's something there for you. Pragmatic. That's the word, pragmatic. Where the fuck is my English gone? I hope they lose even more now for that. So the match, so the match was, so the match was delayed because Liverpool fans stormed the pitch, right? And the police had to use tear gas. Is that what you're telling me? Well, if that's the case, come on, Real Madrid. Oh my God, I swear to good God, that them fans, not the club itself, but those fans, right? Because there was incidents with Liverpool fans earlier as well in the season. This has become a reoccurring thing with these fans. They're absolutely disgraceful. Disgraceful, man. And fans in general, I've noticed there seems to be a new thing now of aging pitches and hitting players across the face. Like, what's bleeding happened? Liverpool fans should throw them out. Apparently, outside the stadium is not ideal now, they're saying here, with 21 minutes to kick off. Actually, they've stopped the timer. They've actually stopped the timer. The kickoff. This match mightn't even go ahead. What a bunch of Yous are over in a different country, right? Yous are there to see the showpiece event in European football, right? And yous can't go over and behave yourselves for a couple of days. Get away. Remember, there was a European ban on English clubs back in the 80s because of the hooliganism. You know, if English fans continue this, because unfortunately we're seeing it a lot even in England. If you follow football, you're seeing an awful lot more incidents. The football bodies need to get a hold of this before someone is seriously bleeding, injured, or killed. We don't want a repeat of Hillsborough or repeat of the other tragedies over the 80s and 90s in football. You know, no way. That's Liverpool fans for you. Not all of them, though. I agree. I agree. Haven't they learned from Hillsborough? They never will, mate. Listen, Lee. This is look. I know you're not into sports, and I'm not going to bang down into sports, right? I don't want to get into this big, but I will say this: over the last couple of years, I have noticed, and it's not just in English football. We're seeing it a lot more now again in Italian football, Spanish football, and even French football. There was literally a brawl. They put up a clip, a brawl in I think it was Serbia or something in their league, where players from both teams and fans fighting each other on the pitch. It's getting out of hand, man. Someone is going to look at. Someone is going to seriously. We don't need a repeat of Hillsborough. You're absolutely right, man. That was. I remember watching that. I remember the reaction, and I remember the Sun newspaper as well. The scumbag paper. Never be forgiven. Blaming those fans, and still never apologized. I don't think, did they? If they did apologize, it was a hollow apology anyway. But anyway, let's leave it there. They seem to be yeah, they seem to be going now, yeah. That's it, man. That's why English clubs were banned back in the 80s. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Yeah, I know it's getting disgraceful, mate. But look, we won't, because I know some people don't like sports. So Yeah, but third doctor, you've got to be fair, right? I'm a Manchester United fan, so it's very easy to go in and hammer Liverpool fans. But the two incidents that you're bringing up, and I watched the documentary on the Heysel Stadium, the one that you're bringing up now, right? You've got to look at the situation of each of those, right? The people that were behind those stadiums and the people that were in charge of making sure that fans were safe were negligent on those two incidents that you bring up, right? So while I am having a go at these Liverpool fans now, it's because of the fighting, but the stadium incidents that you bring up were the failure of the people running those stadiums and the authorities, not the fans themselves. So I want to make that clear, right? Because in both incidents, a lot of fans died. And they've got that Camilo, is that her name? That singer coming on. Camilo, is that her name? She's coming out with a load of dancers singing some song. And it's not even live. I hate the way they get all of these artists, right, to come out, sing a song, and they're lip syncing. Like, if you're going to be in a stadium, you're doing a showpiece event, yeah, you want to be singing that live. Or if you can't sing live, then get someone in that can actually sing live. Yeah, she's lip syncing. She's literally that is. They paid for her to lip sync. Ah! Oh, Jesus Christ. Isn't she in that fucking musical? Isn't that the actress that's in that fucking singer that's in that fucking, what's it? Not Cinderella. Is it Cinderella? What's the one where everybody was complaining about it for because it was a cringy musical? What was it? No. No, it was a popular thing. It was a popular fucking thing, and they did a live version of it, and it was a singing version, and she was in the movie, and apparently it's terrible. Future for Who is bright. Doctor Who exhibit is in Liverpool now. I seen that. There's already stuff being done. So look, as I said, I'll give RTD a chance, as I've always said. Is it Into the Woods? I don't know what it is, man. Cheryl is probably right. I don't know, man. I don't listen. There's not many singers, especially female singers, that go into acting that succeed. There's a couple I can think of. Lady Gaga is one. Madonna, back in her day, yes, she gets criticised for some of the movies that she's done over the years. But when she first started out, she was actually pretty decent as well. And then we've had the unforgettable ones with Britney Spears with that movie Crossroads and stuff like that. You know, just you're a singer. Yeah, you're not an actor. You might do a bit of moves in your music video and do what you're doing now and shake your ass in front of kids. That's appropriate, actually, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. I mean, that seems to be acceptable now. Like, you know, just it's fine. Do you want to take off the rest of your clothes while you are as well? You might as well, like, you know what I mean, at this stage. Well, Daniel, you actually think she's nice looking? I don't know. I don't. It's the same when people go crazy about Beyonce. I don't get it. Like, yes, they're all right looking women, yeah, but They're not these gorgeous looking queens that they make them out to be. I mean, Cheryl's nicer looking than that one. And that's not me like blowing smoke up Cheryl's ass or anything. But I find Cheryl more attractive than looking at wherever her name is. I don't get it. What you say? I'm not. Be quiet, man. I'm not in dangerous territory. And who gives a fuck, right? I'm talking about something that I'm allowed to talk about, right? I don't care. I think you're a gorgeous looking woman, right? I don't think she's nice looking. That's my opinion. If that offends any of our little stands, who gives a shit? Jace, why didn't you just bring a pole onto the football pitch, for God's sake? It was a feminist virtual signal movie now. Oh, for fuck's sake. And that's from Charlotte. So that's that. Celine Dion is a proper female singer and role model. I agree with you. Absolutely. Love Celine Dion anyway. And I loved Whitney Houston as well. Oh, she got a few bills there.
You're not actually streaming about the football, are you?
Oh my God. What? I don't know why she's even like getting involved. Like, you know, I don't know why she's getting involved, but she seems like she has to say something. This is the problem with society now. People just keep blah 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 blah. Yeah, you. I don't care if you're trying to read your book. You knew I was live streaming. I'm about to finish now, woman. Right, but blah 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. You're wrecking my head. Seriously, man. I still can't believe people get away with lip sync and problem being says filth. Yeah, I know, yeah. Oh, here she is now to give out to be some more. What?
Nothing. I've had a rough day and I'm probably going to be stuck in bed all day tomorrow paralyzed because...
Actually, you did. In fairness to you, though, you know.
Your hurt now.
Yeah, you probably haven't done that like that in years, man. Because I know you were a teacher, you probably would have having to go down and...
Oh, no. When I was teaching, I would have caught everybody. I could have caught everyone in heels. That wouldn't have been a problem.
Okay, all you lads in the chat.
So it took you long enough to come to my rescue.
What you mean? I had to find me fucking jeans, man. I couldn't find me jeans, right? Then I put the jeans on. By the way, just in case you are wondering, I was wearing Manchester United shorts, right? When it's sunny, I wear me shorts and me t-shirt, right? But I don't like walking down in shorts and t-shirts. So I'm a weirdo. So basically, I had to get me jeans on.
Unlike your wife who went out in her pajamas.
So went to find me jeans, right? Found the jeans. Finally got them on. Nearly broke my neck actually trying to put them on because I was hopping, right? Then I couldn't find the runners that I wanted. Then I eventually found them. Then I couldn't get them on properly, right? And then by the time I got the runners on, I grabbed the key. I went back to the window and had a look. You'd completely disappeared. And I said, oh, fuck, she's gone out the front gate, right? So I leg it down. Then I bump into me neighbour. He's like, have you any tobacco? Right? And I says, give us a few minutes. I have to check on the wife. He goes, what's going on? I says, a couple of kids bleeding, slagging her off, and they called her a bad name and blah, blah, blah. I told you earlier, right? So,
and, whacked me to...
Right? And hit her with earphones or something, right? So, I leg it out and Cheryl comes back and she's literally dripping with sweat. I'm like, where'd you go? She got the kids.
That's not true. I could speak.
Right. You were out of breath, woman.
I was out of breath. That's why you called me a fat whore instead of a skinny whore. But then he called my mom a whore.
Yeah, the kids around here can be pretty vicious.
Disgraceful.
Can be pretty fucking vicious, I have to say. Irish people can fucking, with their words, can just fucking hurt your feelings. It's not like the same with England. I actually say English people are probably the same because we're pretty similar. We hate to admit it, but Irish, English, and Scots, their sense of humor and their if we want to take someone down a peg or two, it's brutal.
You're savage.
Yeah, there's no mercy shown. No mercy. You go full-blooded or you don't go in at all. You know, simple as that. And that's the way I've been on this channel. We're arguing with people on the other side, full-blooded. I don't back down. Well, you know what? I've had 5 years of it now, and I'm kind of getting to the stage where I want. Look, my goal has always been the same. I just want Doctor Who to be successful again. I wanted RTD to come back. He's back. I wanted to cast a bloke. He cast a bloke. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give him a season. And if it's not everything that I hoped or wished it would be, I'm walking away. I'm not going to spend the next 3 or 4 years complaining again, right? There's no point, right? We'll do something else. We'll talk about the shows out there that we do love at the moment. The likes of the Orville. The Orville's returning, folks, right? And we've got other shows to look forward to that are coming back as well. So we've got plenty, right? It will be sad not being able to watch Doctor Who anymore if that becomes the case. But if that's the case, that's the case. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to keep arguing and being negative about it. I'm just going to move on. Whoever wants to enjoy it and enjoys it, I'm going to move on. Let them enjoy it. If it's not for me anymore, it's not for me anymore. As I said, the difference with the Jodie Whittaker era was as soon as we had our opinions, we were slapped down and we were called every name under the sun. I'm not going to resort to that to people that like it. I'm going to walk away. I'm just going to walk away. I'm not going to become the Jodie Whittaker fans that couldn't accept people enjoying it or people not liking it and people having different opinions on it, right? I'm not going to be those people, right? I'm not going to ruin it for everybody else if I don't like it. I'm going to move on. With Doctor Who, I have all the classic Who and I have all the new Who that I like. And that's it, right? And the animations as well, right? And I'm happy with that, right? And if it doesn't improve, so be it. Same as Noel, same as, says PD Rich. And Problem Being says, once Doctor Who stopped being for everyone, it's not Doctor Who, simple. And we will leave on that comment because I think that is the most valid comment made. And that's the way everybody should actually be thinking. And especially those people that write it as well. Once Doctor Who stops being for everyone, it's not Doctor Who, simple. And that is the truth of the matter. The show has to be for everybody. And hopefully RTD can do that. And only time will tell. Right? So as I said, we'll leave it there. As I said, Daniel will be on the next member stream with me. And then as we've already arranged and sorted out, we will have Jack. Myself and Jack will be coming on. And we'll be doing a member stream. Jack doesn't normally get a chance to come on his own. So Jack will be there and we'll be doing an interview for member streams. And remember, we're also doing RTD era streams for you members as well. Because of all the negativity, I've just decided, because someone will just come in while we're watching it and say something. And I don't want it to have to resort to having arguments with people. So if you want to sign up, become a member, so you can join us for those watch-alongs and get the people that I bring on's opinions on the episodes, you know what to do. Nicholas Horton, a member, says, good night, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will see you guys very soon. I'm going to head off. Oh, Ted's just had to do something to himself there, as usual. So I'm going to head off now. And as I said, enjoy the rest of your night. And I'll see you. We'll do a stream tomorrow. Well, come on, there's still plenty to talk about. Anyway, we'll talk about. Do you know what? I might bring it because it's been a while. We'll bring on a couple of people tomorrow if there's people around, and we'll have a little chat. We'll just talk about random stuff. We don't have to necessarily talk about Doctor Who because there's nothing really to talk about. I might get people's opinions on that little clapboard thing that Rachel threw up on our Twitter account with all the numbers on it and the TARDIS. And yeah, there's some little, they're doing these cryptic clues again. So we'll see what people have to say about that, and then we'll just see where the chat takes us then. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you tomorrow. Good night, folks. Have a good one, and good night. Bye. Bye.